Hello and welcome to Melbourne Ballpark. This is the Brick Lane pregame show. I'm Ed White. Alongside me, Max Tanzer, the voice of the Melbourne Aces. And Max, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say this is the most important series of the year for the Melbourne Aces.
Absolutely. Another 5-game set. The two will be making up their postponed game back all the way in round 3 over in Sydney, where the Aces lost all 3 of their matchups against the Blue Sox. The Aces currently trail Perth by half a game for the 4th and final playoff spot in the ABL standings. They do have the tiebreaker, so that is important if both teams finish tied at the end of the year. Meanwhile, Sydney in first place. Their magic number is 4, which means just 2 wins in their next 9 games, and they're in the playoffs for the first time since 2018-19.
They've been a great story this year in the ABL. A whole new roster. Brooke Knight, an experienced manager. They've got Landon Barassa going on the hill tonight, a Canadian who's pitched really well. So a big challenge for the Aces tonight.
Absolutely. One of the big keys for them so far this year has been their backstop. That's Mitchell Edwards, who's essentially caught almost every single game. We caught up with him before the game today. 1-2. Swinging a line drive. This is plenty deep. Mateo back, looking up. This one bangs off the wall. Double for the cameraman, Mitchell Edwards.
All right, Mitch, you've been the most consistent position player, I think, this season in terms of defense. You've caught almost every single game this year, especially in the first half. How have you been able to take care of your body at some points, catching both games of a doubleheader, playing every game of the year?
It's tough. You just kind of got to stay on top of it, keep the body moving. A lot of the time is, preparation before the game, making sure that you're getting out of bed, you're moving the body, you're going to the gym, you're doing your recovery stuff, and you can just kind of stay on top of it.
And not only is it a physically demanding position, but you've had to manage a ton of pitchers this year, especially over the last couple weeks, a bunch of brand new arms coming in. How do you go about learning these new arms, working with them, and building relationships with them?
Yeah, I think that's just all part of it. As a catcher, you got to learn different pitches and know their strengths. And I think that just comes with time. Starting to kind of figure out some of the guys, starting to work with Tripp and all those other guys fairly well. So I just got to keep it going and stay on top of it.
And then ever since Logan Moore's come, a guy who has plenty of experience professionally as well, has there been anything you've been able to take from him?
I love picking his brain. He's got a lot to kind of teach me, and give me a little hints here and there in terms of catching, or even game calling, or just dealing with pitches in general. So he's been great for the team. So yeah, I like it.
On the offensive side, you've had such a good second half. What's been the major adjustment you've made for that success? Just
seeing the ball and being comfortable in the box. I think at the start I was trying to do too much. I didn't really give much respect to the fact that I was coming off a fairly long off season, whereas guys are coming off with a bunch more at bats. But no, it's good to finally see the ball and just kind of keep it going. But in the home stretch now, so trying to finish it strong.
You mentioned it, home stretch. You guys control your own destiny now, playing the top 2 teams in the league. What's the biggest key for you guys in the final 9 games?
Just taking care of business. I still believe we're good enough, and I think everyone in the clubhouse still believes we're good enough. We just got to go out there and show it, right? And we're going to go out there and we're going to give them all we got.
Once again, Mitch Edwards, who's been so reliable for the Aces this year. He'll be catching Jonathan Tripp tonight, who the last time he was on this Melbourne Ballpark mound was spectacular.
Yeah, he did phenomenally, 11 strikeouts, so let's hope that continues tonight. Big crowd expected, should be fun series.
Should be a good one, the first of 5 here this weekend as we begin Aces baseball here in 2025. It's the first place Blue Sox versus the Aces coming up next.
Center field, Warner back at the track, kiss it goodbye.
Hit hard by Jordan, deep center field. Back goes Robson, it's out of here! Dale George over the center field wall.
Work is back, he leaps, and he makes the catch! Oh! Center field and two. Kick back at the track, it is gone! Oh! History for Greg Bird, his 3rd homer of the night! He charges this one up to left field, back is Kennelly, he can only watch, it's gone! Garrett Dale picks up his 2nd.
The postseason race is heating up as we welcome you to Melbourne Ballpark as the Aces play host to the Sydney Blue Sox for the first of a 5-game series as we get round 9 kicked off, and it should be a good one. Max Tanzer here, joined alongside Ed Wyatt. And Ed, both of these teams well within the playoff mix, both on different sides of the poll, but a lot of implications and a lot on the line here this weekend.
Good to see you, Max. Happy New Year. And I think you're spot on. In a small league, we've talked about this, there's an opportunity for you to rise very quickly and fall very quickly. In fact, we spoke with manager Brooke Knight of the Sydney Blue Sox. He said that exact thing. He said this thing's far from over, even though their magic numbers you mentioned in the pregame is 4.
Yes, and for those not familiar with the magic number, basically Sydney needs a combination of 2 Sydney wins and 2 Melbourne losses, and luckily for them, they're playing the Aces here tonight, which means 2 wins and they're in for the first time since 2018-2019. The only team currently in the ABL who has never won or never been to the championship series, and they look poised to make a run this year. Meanwhile, on the Aces side, Ed, it was a split in Perth last weekend. The big key, they've secured the tiebreaker, having one of the six of the 8 games against the Heat this year, but again, still trailing on the outside by half a game. The doubleheader game on Saturday will be huge, as that's a pivot point. We get a look at the weather today, brought to you by Vibrant Services. 27 degrees Celsius here outside. As you can see, it's sunny but muggy. Winds at 22 kilometers per hour. But Ed, back to what we were discussing, for the Aces, you really do control your own destiny by playing the top 2 seeds, but you have to take care of business, and it seems that they've struggled to get things going at points in time this year.
Yeah, that's right. Been a little bit of consistency, right? You lose the first game at Perth, you sweep the doubleheader, then get blown out in game 4. So the first thing you said was correct, Max, is that the Aces had that tiebreaker with Perth. So that's a good thing to have in your back pocket.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups tonight. First for the Aces, the home side, announced by manager John Diebel. Lead things off in left field today. It's going to be Aaron Whitefield hitting .369 coming into play tonight. Behind him, the league's leading hitter, that's Jared Dale at shortstop. He has been phenomenal all season long. Robbie Glendinning in right field will bat third, 8 for 13 in Perth last week. Greg Bird at first base with those long locks will clean things up. Daryl George will bat 5th at third base. Logan Moore will follow behind him, DHing tonight, looking to snap his skid. Batting 7th at second base, Morgan McCullough, back for his second trip here at home. Mitchell Edwards, we talked to him in the pregame show, the switch-hitting catcher, bats 8th, and rounding out the 9, quite a pleasant surprise this year, that's Chris Burke, who plays center. On the mound, Jonathan Tripp, we mentioned it, despite a tough week last week in Perth, 11 strikeouts over 6 shutout innings against Brisbane last week, and he'll look to do much of the same here tonight. Well, we'll give you the lineup for Sydney tonight, but before that, let's step aside for the Australian national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please get upstanding and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem.
Just about ready to press play on round 9, but before we do, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Sydney Blue Sox, who will face Jonathan Tripp tonight. Announced by first-year manager with Sydney, Brooke Knight. Brendan Ryan, the DH, will lead things off, leads the team with 5 homers. Jake McKenzie, we'll talk about him, a speedster, bats second in left field. Corey Acton, the second baseman, hits third. Andy Atwood at short will clean things up. Game number 9 for him here on the young season. Clayton Campbell leading the team in several categories, bats 5th at first. Jalen Ray in center right behind him. Alberto Rios will bat 7th behind the plate. Joe Stevens bats 8th at the hot corner. And Solomon McGuire will round out the 9 in right field. On the mound for the Blue Sox, Landon Barraza.
Yeah, it's an interesting, they've really made over this roster. They were the worst team in the league last year record-wise, but they've got some really solid guys, a lot of guys with experience in the United States, colleges, Western Kentucky, Purdue, Texas A&M, and guys who play in the independent ball. Also guys that Brooke and Knight has known and coached in Oregon, in Summer League, other places. So he's put a nice little team together here. You can just tell the way they've been playing and the way he talked about them. He really likes this team, says it's a great group, the chemistry's good. It's reflected in the record.
Sydney 20-11, first place in the ABL standings entering tonight. The Aces 14-17, a half game out of a playoff spot. As you get a look at Jonathan Tripp, the right-hander, making his 9th start of the season, a 7.41 ERA. His last outing at Perth was a tough one, but a look to shake that off here tonight. Again, last time he was here at home and faced Brisbane, 11 punch-outs over 6 shutout innings. A look to piece together a similar outing here tonight. We're ready to play ball here at Melbourne Ballpark. A very calm and warm evening. Here's the first pitch to Brendan Ryan. It's a fastball just a bit outside, ball 1. And we get things started.
Ryan's one of those guys we talk about how tough it is to make it in baseball. Hit .319 at Texas A&M. Didn't get any offers with an MLB team.
He lines this one sharply out to right, but Glendening will reach up and make the catch. Allowed out number 1.
Just about to finish and say, but he's tearing up the Pioneer League with a .331 average. So definitely one of those guys that's kind of just on the cusp.
Another look at this Glendening play, who's looked very solid in right field. And again, they say the hardest one to read is the one right at you. And this one kept rising, but
lucky he's tall.
He's got a good wingspan out there. Wind will be a category and a factor again today, as this one's past George and will roll into foul ground. Jake McKenzie, who has plenty of speed, racing into second. Whitefield will dig it up. We'll see what they rule that either way. A runner in scoring position here with 1 down for Sydney.
Yeah, you can see that speed on McKenzie. Just tearing around the bases, and that's a good start for Sydney, not the start that Jonathan Tripp would like to see.
And it was a tricky hop for George, who with McKenzie's speed was playing in front of the bag at third, so kind of caught him in between. So a good spot here for the Blue Sox as Corey Acton will dig in. Again, Sydney looking to clinch their first playoff spot since 2018-19. It's the first pitch to Acton, misses outside, ball 1. They played a play-in game a couple years ago during the 2020-21 season, which was, again, a little bit of an unorthodox year. Due to restrictions, only played 14 games. This one sent out to left. Whitefield back to the track as it carries pretty well. He'll squeeze it for out number 2.
Yeah, you mentioned the wind. That was one where we weren't sure. Whitey seemed to have it in his sights from the very beginning. But the wind is blowing differently tonight, right to left, but swirling a little bit. So could be tricky in left field tonight.
Indeed, and in fact, both balls elevated to the outfield have carried pretty well to Glendening in right and to Whitefield in left. Here's Andy Atwood now. Sydney's been aggressive against Tripp. First pitch misses down and in, ball 1.
Atwood's one of those guys we talked about from Seattle, O'Day High School, good athletic school in downtown Seattle. Played at Oregon State, so Brooke Knight would have known him from there. 2 years in the minors, and the White Sox made it to AA. So again, one of those talented guys they brought in.
Takes a strike, count evens up at 1-1. Pacific Northwest roots all over the ballpark.
It's scary, isn't it? Brooke Knight, of course, coaching that wooden bat team in Corvallis. The Corvallis Knights. Not named after him, by the way.
Hey, I'm sure we can say it is. Here's the 1-1. Runner goes, pitch in the ways, foul straight back.
Brooke Knight, of course, won a couple of titles with the Perth Heat. Very well-respected baseball man. And really gave us a lot of good info. And that's the one thing I love about you get to talk to these managers, and they're happy to share the info about their teams. Not the secrets, but, you know, the things they're doing well, the things they're hoping for, and we really appreciate them sharing that with us.
Tripp ahead 1-2. McKenzie 11 of 11 in stolen base attempts at second. Down and away, scoots past Edwards, and McKenzie will advance to third. So he's 90 feet away, count even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, to mention the pedigree of Brooke Knight and the impact, he's taken a Sydney team who was at the bottom of the standings last year and has completely flipped the narrative upside down. Been the best team in this league so far.
Yep.
2-2 from Tripp. Flown out to right field. Glendening back to the track. He's got room and makes the catch to end the inning. Good work from Jonathan Tripp to evade the 1-out double. No runs, a hit, no errors, a runner left as we head to the bottom of the first. Aces will step to the plate for the first time this weekend when we return.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Good crowd on hand tonight here at Melbourne Ballpark as the Aces will step to the plate for the first time here in round 9. We take a look at the Aces dugout as they watch Landon Barraza, the right-hander out of Lethbridge, Canada, throwing his warm-up tosses as he gets ready to make his 9th start of the season. Good night to chat at the ballpark, enjoying some warm weather and watch some good baseball with plenty of playoff implications. There's a look at Barraza. 8 starts, 42 1/3 of an innings work, 3.40 ERA, 30 strikeouts to 8 walks. Made a start against the Aces back in round 3, but that was that rain-delayed overnight ball game where both starters for Sydney and Melbourne tossed just 1 inning. So the Aces didn't get much of a sample size against him, but we'll see plenty of him here tonight. Aaron Whitefield to lead things off here for the Aces. They look to set the tone early after a unique weekend for them when they were back home here against Brisbane in round 7. First pitch is taken outside, ball 1. Barraza, one of the more prominent arms to come from Canada. 1-0 is tapped. Third base side, Stevens leaps, throws across just in time to get Whitefield for out number 1.
Yeah, we spoke with Brooke Knight about Barraza said one of his goals is to make Team Canada, not so much obsessed with making it back to association ball. He's been pitching in Winnipeg, pitching really well.
Yes, spent this year with the Winnipeg Goldeyes of the American Association, a 4.19 ERA over there. First pitch to Jared Dale, taken for a strike.
I've got some Lethbridge trivia for you.
Oh, let's hear it.
It's Alberta. Biggest trestle bridge in the world.
Really?
In Lethbridge.
Have you gone across it?
I have not. But I think there was the Lethbridge Broncos with the hockey team, I think, used to play the Portland Winterhawks and Seattle Thunderbirds.
Look at that. I've been to a Thunderbirds game.
There you go.
Well, it's fitting that bridge is in their city's name. Did they name the city after a bridge?
Good point.
Fouled off the foot of Dale. 1-2 the count.
Pretty remarkable. The Aces lead off with the 2 best hitters in the league, isn't it?
Absolutely. Whitefield entering play tonight, hitting at a 369 clip. Second in the ABL behind this man right here, Jared Dale. He's hitting 398 pretty casually and pretty quietly. He's a mellow guy, but not when it comes to swinging the bat. I'll tell you that. He's already tied his season total for hits from last year's. Just got a piece and fouls it straight back.
Yeah, it just gets the job done, both in the field and at the plate. No nonsense. Very reliable.
He could become the third Aces player with over 100 plate appearances in the season to hit over 400. He's at 398 right now with 9 games to go. And again, no matter what happens, Hitting .398 this deep into the season is quite impressive.
Amazing.
Barraza set. 1-2. Down and away. County gets up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I mean, just to put it into perspective, since the 19th of December, which was about a month ago, 2 weeks ago, he's 23 for 48. He's batting just below 500 with at least 1 hit in 12 of his last 13 games. 2-2. Stays alive. Count will still hold. I mean, John Diebel can pencil him into the lineup and you just feel that there's an automatic hit, at least one per
That's
night.
right. That's exactly right.
It's incredible. His career high for hits in an ABL season is 39. He rolls this out to short. Atwood will gobble it up and throw over. 2 away. So Barraza able to retire, Dale, which I'm sure this summer many pitchers feel good about. Here's Robbie Glendinning coming off of a really good series in Perth last weekend.
Back against his former club, his former hometown.
Absolutely. Went 8 for 13, including a 6 for 6 day in the doubleheader. Little late on a swing and a miss for strike 1, 0-1. A homer, 5 runs batted in. Now hitting .305. 0-1. Strike called, 0-2.
It's a good pitch. I rate those Blue Sox uniforms we're looking at right now. I like that gray, the blue. The hat is simple, very traditional baseball road uniform.
0-2. Breaking ball, top spin through the left side for a base hit.
There we go.
Glendinning continues his hot hitting. A 2-out base knock for the Aces, their first of the night.
Tearing it up, Robbie, at the moment.
Now 9 for his last 14.
Yeah, that's
That'll do, right, as we get another look right here.
he's in the hole, too, 0-2.
Hit sharply as well. Atwood gave it a good lunge, but well out of his reach. That'll make way to Greg Bird now. First pitch is taken down low, 1-0. Calling balls and strikes tonight. Takayuki Ichikawa, Neil Douglas at first, Koki Suzuki at second, and Jeff Dunn over at third.
Saw him before the game, wished him Happy New Year. Said
Very
he's
nice.
Feeling good.
Love to hear it. Disappointed I missed him. 1-0. Strike called, 1-1. I'll catch him tomorrow.
Of course he will.
Bird had a good weekend in Perth, was 8 for 16. Second in the ABL and runs batted in with 22, just a handful behind Brendan McNair, who was a one-man wrecking crew against the Aces a couple weekends ago. 1-1. Strike called, 1-2.
Yeah, that was special, wasn't it? 3 home runs in one game. And
3
all
game
that
tying
tied it,
homers.
yeah.
That's the most impressive part to me.
Yeah, insane.
And he had been pretty quiet in the series.
He had been, yeah.
Just exploded. Brisbane showed a lot of resilience that weekend. 1-2. This one's lined through a vacant left side. This one's going to quickly roll the corner. Glendinning turning on the Jets. Are they going to give him the wave? Yes, they will. Dug out by McKenzie. There will be no relay. Aces strike first, and RBI double for Greg Bird. It's 1-0 in the first.
That was a perfect hit, perfectly placed. You had those sort of just for a second. Are we going to see another man thrown out at home? We've seen a few of those. No chance at all. Good job sending him home. Made it home easily.
That's John Diebel coaching at the third base box as well. And you can see him patiently waiting, and I think the ball got kind of stuck for McKenzie and left. And then you can see him quickly at the last second wave Glendinning around.
Yep.
So an RBI for Bird, that's his 23rd. Here's Darryl George. Takes a strike, 0-1. Ross's most recent outing came in Brisbane last week. Tossed 5 innings, allowed 3 runs, so a solid outing for him. But the Aces getting things going early, a good sign for this offense. 0-1. Look out in the dugout, goodness.
Wow. We have seen some this year, haven't we, Max?
What is going on?
Wow.
I don't think I've spent a season watching baseball seeing so many rocket line drives go towards the dugout on both sides.
Thank goodness that was low.
took that one right out of the glove of the Sydney catcher, Alberto Rios. 0-2 the count here on Darryl. Pitch. Just got a piece and stays alive. Game number 28 for George. Has been struggling a little bit, hitting at a 208 mark. Last time we saw him, he sent an opposite field blast to right. Back in that Sunday afternoon game with the Bandits. Well, the Ace is already up on the RBI double from Greg Bird. All this production with 2 outs. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase a breaking ball. Rios applies the tag to finish the strikeout. But the Aces knock on the scoreboard for the first time this weekend. A run on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left as we head to the top of the second. Jonathan Tripp comes back to the mound with the lead when we return. Back at Melbourne Ballpark. What do they got there? Some chicken tenders? I had some earlier today. Oh, some fries.
Yeah, some chips.
We get things started here at the top of the second inning. Let's take a look to the bottom of the first. Greg Bird, what a piece of hitting. Saw a wide open left side of the infield. It just slaps it into the corner end.
You can see him there. There's Glendenning sliding in safely after that good call we mentioned from John Diebel. Look how pumped Whitey is. Absolutely over the moon.
Watching Robbie Glendenning really speed around the base paths. So Aces lead by 1 now, and you got to score as many as you can against the Sydney offense who can hit the baseball, to say the least, leading the league in hitting at a 276 mark, second in runs scored. And something to keep in mind in this series, they love to play aggression on the base paths. 51 stolen bases, the most in the ABL this season.
And you saw that in the first inning, right? They were swinging early. They were hitting it hard, trying to steal a base.
Here's Clayton Campbell to lead things off. First pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1. It's something we talked about with Brooke Knight in our conversation before the game, the manager for Sydney. He mentioned that this team is much more scrappy. Nice stop by George. Slides, gets to his feet, and a beauty of a pick by Bird on the back end to complete a very nice 5-3 put out.
George with that struggle with the ball in the first inning makes beautiful play here. And what about Greg Bird with that scoop? Wow.
As smooth as it gets as they play some smooth jazz here at the ballpark.
Smooth operator. That's what he is.
Jalen Ray will dig in now. But he mentioned that this isn't a Sydney club that's necessarily going to flash it in terms of power, but instead string together base hits, really keep you on your toes as a defense, and do a good job of manufacturing runs. And he said it's reflected on the pitching side too, where they're not inducing a ton of strikeouts. They don't get much swing and miss. They pitch the contact, though, and do it very effectively. Pulled out to short. Dale. It's got it measured. 2 away.
A lot of ground balls so far.
And you'll take that if you're Jonathan Tripp.
Jonathan Tripp and Barras as well. Absolutely.
You know what's incredible, when I was looking at some of the trends this year for Sydney, they've allowed 3 homers at home this year, 26 on the road. And a big part of that is how big their ballpark is. First pitch to Alberto Rios, has eyes on it, just past George, then Dale in the left for a 2-out base hit for Sydney.
Yeah, Rios just put that where just out of the reach of both of those players. He comes with pretty good pedigree, 3rd-round draft pick out of Stanford, but then some injuries heard him. He was the number 12 prospect in the Angels organization. So you know he's got some talent.
Must be pretty smart like you, Ed.
Oh, well, yeah. Not everyone can get in the same.
Ed, a former Cardinal. This one sharply hit and off the glove of Dale. He recovers and gets the out.
Great play.
Nice work from Dale as he finishes the 6-4 fielder's choice, and another quick inning for Jonathan Tripp. Let's get another look right here. This ball was stung, and Dale able to knock it down, and it slowly deflects onto the cut of the outfield grass, and they're able to nail down Rios. We head to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Aces.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most, to share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking, and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Ed Wyatt, Max Tanzer with you. Max, I got a little quiz for you. Light and easy. How many delicious, nutritionally balanced meals do they have for you?
Feeling 100.
Over 100. That is absolutely correct. Who designs them?
Chefs.
Chefs do design them. You know who approves them? That's a little curveball I threw you. Dietitians.
Dietitians.
Approved by dietitians. How do you get it? Where is it delivered?
To your home.
To your door. That's exactly right. They're delivered to your door. Lightandeasy.com.au. And do you have a new favorite, or you're staying with your old standby favorite?
Well, I've been eating a lot of the tortellini, but one that I ordered recently was this pasta pork mix. Really good. They mixed it some potatoes and some broccoli and corn. It's good. It's really good balanced meal.
Nice.
Makes
Light
me
and
feel
easy.
good.
Lightandeasy.com.au.
When I go back to America, I'm going to miss Light and Easy. It's just so easy. Here's Logan Moore to lead it off. First pitch is over the heart of the plate for strike one. Landon Baraja back down to the mound here. Barasa.
They're giving him a Hispanic. Baraja. You're thinking of something at the local restaurant.
Here's the 0-1. Swing, and this one's driven pretty deep out to left. Back is McKenzie. He's got room for out number one.
Yeah, it was hit hard, but got under it. Wasn't enough for the wind to be able to take it, so one away.
Well, when the Aces got on the board of the first, it was after Barasa retired the first two hitters pretty quickly. Here's Morgan McCullough, game number 9 for him. Joined the team back in round 7 against Brisbane. Takes outside ball 1. 1 for 13 in Perth to draw a handful of walks. Looking to get back on track here at home.
You're right, another one of those Seattle guys. The ballpark is awash with
We've got
Seattleites.
O'Day High School and
West Seattle?
West Seattle High School.
Yeah.
Wonder if they played against each other. They're around the
Quite
same
possibly,
age.
yeah.
There's a good chance.
Same class as well, I think AA. Nice shot.
Cracked up the middle in the left center field for a base hit. Ray will cut it off, and a wide turnaround first for McCullough, but he'll put on the brakes.
Good decision.
He sees the ball well here at home.
Yes, he certainly does. He stepped off the plane and had a couple of hits.
Get another look at it right here. Good work from Ray to cut that one off. Again, McCullough with really good speed over there. He's already stolen 3 bases this year. Here's Mitchell Edwards, our pregame show guest. First pitch. 0-1.
McCullough's another one of those guys, sort of like the Sydney guys, right? Really good experience, good hustler, plays at a really good level. Going to be a good part of the team. Hustler, good fielder.
Does the little things, right?
Does the little things.
The intangibles.
Yep.
Control what you can control. 0-1.
Oof.
0-2.
It's a nice pitch.
It was. And so now Edwards will have to battle here. See McCullough taking his lead from first base. Let's see if he's ready to take off. He's just tied for fourth in the league in stolen bases, and there he goes. A good pitch to run on. It's down to the dirt, and McCullough in there without a contest.
Here we go.
Fourth stolen base for him, and a runner in scoring position here with one down.
Yeah, nice break there with Rios not able to handle it. You'll see that there. It's in the dirt. It's tricky. He's trying to scoop it quickly to get the throw off quickly and wasn't able to handle it.
So now base hit likely scores McCullough from second base. Arms left to right in the outfield, McKenzie, Ray, and McGuire. Aces have already scored one on the Bird RBI double in the first. 1-2. Just got a piece. Edwards stays alive. Mitch has really turned it on offensively over the last couple weeks. Plenty of multi-hit games. Almost hit one out in Perth last weekend. Talked to him before the game about it today before we sat down for our interview. And he was like, the wind, man. Thought I had it. And I thought he did too. Off the very bottom of the wall in deep right center field. 1-2. Down low. 2-2 now to count.
Good eye from Mitch.
But ultimately, I think another aspect too is now that Logan Moore is here to help balance out the slate of catching duties, because Edwards at one point was catching every single game. I think that translates positively to his offense too.
Yeah.
You've seen the numbers take a large uptick since. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Big rip at a breaking ball down and out. Second strikeout for Barraza. Now we'll send up Chris Burke.
Berkey's been fun to watch this year. As we've said many times in the broadcast, one of the good guys. Love to see him have some success, and he certainly has had that this year.
Hitting .299, 3 homers on his stat line as well. Perfect guy to have at the bottom of your order. That one misses outside ball 1. I think on a lot of teams you might be in a leadoff spot, somewhere maybe the 2 spot, but he's playing the role of the table setter ahead of the likes of Whitefield and Dale, the 2 leading hitters in the league. I mean, how about that? Your 9-hole hitter's hitting .299, and then your first 2 hitters are hitting over .370. Strike called, 1-1.
Yeah, it's a really great point, Max. It's 1, 2, 3, essentially.
Then go Dinning and Bird.
Yeah, that's right. And if George and Moore could get a little hot, geez, you got 9 hitters there.
This Aces lineup is capable of really big things, and they're looking to get on another hot streak before the playoffs. Again, just half a game behind Perth for the last playoff spot in the ABL. 4 of the 6 teams make it. Meanwhile, Sydney just trying to find the X next to their name in the standings, looking to clinch this weekend. 1-1. Tap foul. 1-2. Now there's a lot of people at the Australian Youth Championships this weekend over in Sydney that's being hosted at Blacktown International Sports Park, and they're looking to see some excitement from their Blue Sox this weekend, who are a couple games away from punching their ticket. One, 2. Good take. Down and in. 2-2 now the count.
Yeah, another good eye there, this time from Burke. Patient at the plate. 80 miles an hour on that pitch.
Aaron Whitefield on deck. First base is open, but you got to imagine Barraza would not prefer to face Whitefield with a man in scoring position. Pull shift onto the infield for Burke. 2-2. Swinging a soft looper, could get down, but a leaping, sprawling grab by Andy Atwood.
Wow.
What a play to save a run as the shortstop cuts one down. We enter the top of the third. Let's get another look. Thought this one had a ticket for the outfield grass. Instead, it's Atwood's glove. Look at that extension right there.
Oh.
That'll end the inning. We enter the top of the third. Aces lead 1-0.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Back at it here at Melbourne Ballpark. Kids enjoying a good ball game here tonight, as it's the Aces and the Blue Sox for the first of 5. We're underway tomorrow at 7 p.m. Got a doubleheader, 2 7-inning games on Saturday, and then Sunday's batting day to close up the series. Tripp's first pitch on the way is outside to Solomon McGuire. 1-0 the count as we begin the third. Well, it's been quick work so far for Jonathan. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss.
McGuire's third season with the Blue Sox. Hit .230 last year. Had 4 seasons in the Pirates organization. Was at Class A Bradenton last year. How about that? Hitting .175.
1-1. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count.
Heard good things about Bradenton.
Is it a fun spot?
I've heard that.
I'll have to check it out.
Pirates organization. Yeah, head down there.
1-2. Rolled out to second. McCullough vacuums it up. Slings over. 1 away.
Good way to start the inning off. Now at the top of the order again with Ryan and then McKenzie.
Just about 20 pitches per Tripp, by the way, to get through
good.
2 1/3.
Yeah, it's great.
Really good sign for the right-hander. And I think a big key, too, you mentioned it earlier, in fact, is keeping the ball on the ground after getting hit hard, particularly on a couple long balls and extra base hits into the gap back at Perth last weekend. Here's Brendan Ryan as the lineup flips over. Shows bunt and pulls back for ball 1.
The last 5 hits, last 5 batters have all been on the ground, including the Rios ground ball hit. So 4 infield outs, ground outs, and that single.
1-0. Outside. 2-0 now the count. For Jonathan has that sinker, which especially to right-handed hitters can induce the ground ball. We had some good conversations with him a couple weeks ago just about how he's been developing his pitch repertoire as of late. This one's popped foul. 2-1.
I'm surprised he was able to give you all that information. He doesn't really like to talk, does he?
Not at all, right?
One of the Aces' great storytellers.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean,
really
he holds
good.
court down there in
Yeah,
the
he
first
does.
base
Yeah,
dugout.
he's great.
When he's not starting. 2-1. Strike called, perfectly placed. 2-2. Well, he mentioned to me after his start against Brisbane, where he struck out the 11 hitters, that the way the wind was moving was huge for him, because that does impact how his breaking balls will bend and so forth. His sinker runs. 2-2 is up and away. 3-2. And you mentioned it earlier, Ed, but that wind is kind of tugging towards the left field line, so it's going to impact the sinker running to the arm side in the same direction, and the breaking ball is running against that. 3-2. Up and away, ball 4. First walk allowed by Tripp today. And Ryan, with good speed, will take first base here with 1 away. First walk of the game from either side as Jake McKenzie will dig in. Didn't have much time to talk about McKenzie before he launched a double into the gap in left center field, but my goodness, 11 of 11 and still a base attempts. There goes Ryan, the pitch outside. Edwards' throw, not in time. Stolen base number 8 for Ryan. Sidney continues to blaze across the base path.
As you mentioned, yeah.
There's Brendan Ryan again. The speedier guy at the plate. You can see that pitch running inside. Handcuffed Edwards a little bit.
We got rid of it really quickly, though.
Jake McKenzie's played in 12 games this year, this number 13, and he's 11 of 11 in stolen base attempts. I mean, that's incredible. 1-0. Strike called, count evens up at 1-1. So do not let him on base.
No.
It's really the message if you're the Aces pitching staff this week.
That's the key.
Kenzie joined the team in round 6. Pitch is up and away. 2-2. He's just 2 shy of Miles Symington for the league lead in swipes. Symington's played 31 games. As we mentioned, McKenzie's played 12.
Wow.
It's incredible.
That is.
Stole 7 bases last weekend against Brisbane. Swinging a foul tip, held on 2-2.
Good fastball that time from Tripp. Way behind it was McKenzie.
That one at 90 miles an hour. Sydney looking to get on the board for the first time this weekend. 2-2. Just a little bit inside, maybe high as well. Count full.
See what he was trying to do there. Just couldn't get it into the zone.
Kenzie went to Fordham in New York City, D1. 3-2. Swing, and this one's chopped to third. Dale cuts across, throws to third. The tag not in time at a close play. A heads-up one initially from Dale, but a really good slide on the back end from Ryan as we get another look. A lot of times they say don't run to third if the ball's hit in front of you, and let's get another look. Does he get that hand in there? It's a good call. Tag on the shoulder right there, and so that allowed that oven mitt you could see on his right hand right there to sneak in there.
You could see what Dale was thinking too, because McKenzie's got that good speed, right? And it was a bit of a slow roller, so you kind of see what he was trying to do, as well as stop the lead run.
Huge lead for McKenzie. There he goes. Pitch is popped up foul on the play.
It's the only way to stop him. Pop foul.
I was mentioning this earlier. Both sides are playing at a quick pace, but with the way that Sydney just continues to manufacture base runners and apply pressure, we barely have time to get our words out. They're moving so fast.
It's a nice change, though, from some of the slow-moving clubs, isn't it?
Indeed. There were some long games in round 7 when Brisbane was in town. A lot of walks on both sides of the ball as there's a check to first base. Back in safely goes Ryan. Again,
How did they rule that on is that just
I believe it would be a 6-5 fielder's choice, no hit for McKenzie.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody safe in the play.
Yep.
McKenzie goes 0-1 upstairs, throw from Edwards. The tag not in time.
Wow.
Dale, you could see a little frustrated, thought he may have had it. I think if that throw is on the arm side of the bag, then they maybe have a chance, but you'll see a look. Dale had to reach across his body to apply this tag.
It's a good throw, though, otherwise.
It is.
Just a little high. Jeez, I don't know. That's really close.
Stolen base number 12 for McKenzie.
We didn't have a great view, to be honest.
Infield drawn in here for Melbourne. 1-1. Fisted foul. 1-2. Well, it's those little things. 2 stolen bases now already here for the Blue Sox. On a walk at a fielder's choice, by the way. Second and third, one down, and the ball hasn't even left the infield. One, two. Swing and a miss. Sizzled a fastball by him. A pivotal out number 2.
Yeah, that's huge from Tripp. Absolutely huge.
90-mile-an-hour heater as we get another look. Top of the zone, got him to swing right underneath.
A little movement on it too, didn't it?
There's that arm side run. It's nasty. Here's Andy Atwood. Infield gets to play back with 2 down. First pitch rolled softly to short. Dale charges, throws on the run. Just in time, he got him. Phenomenal work from Jonathan Tripp to evade trouble. No runs, no hits, no errors, but 2 runners left on as you get a look at Jared Dale fielding at the shoestrings and beats him by half a step to punctuate the inning. Bottom of the third on its way. Aces lead 1-0.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Traffic going by on a Thursday night. Aces lead Sydney 1-0. Crew Fitness and Performance has a more than vision. What drives the Crew team and its members is a dedication to community and an eagerness to be surrounded by a personal growth culture. Stop into their location in Braybrook or Hoppers Crossing to see for yourself. Ed White and Max Tanzer with you on a warm Thursday night as we start a 5-game series between the league leaders Sydney and the Melbourne Aces.
Uh-oh. They've brought in my nightly Coca-Cola. Brendan just dropped it apparently, so.
They've set that up. They've stitched you up, as they say here.
Stitched. I've heard everyone say that.
Stitched you up. Yeah.
I'm going to bring that one back with me. I won't spill it this time, at least hopefully. Aaron Whitefield will lead things off as we start the bottom of the third, and back of the mound is Landon Barraza.
Whitey showing bunt there.
We have a ruling change,
Ooh.
I've just been told.
Yeah.
That double to McKenzie back in the first
Yes.
is now an E5 on George.
There we go.
Here's Aaron Whitefield. First pitch is swung on a miss for strike one. It's great when you have the official scorer right next to you. She's on my left, and there's a window right there, and she wrote it on a piece of paper and flashed it to me. That was awesome.
I did wonder about that, I'll be honest with you.
Time. Don't need technology when you got a window. 0-2 the count on Whitefield, who grounded out to third back in the first. Barraza ready. Pitch is charged on the line to center. Ray ranging over. It's down in front of him for a base hit. Whitefield picks up his first knock of the night and a leadoff base runner with speed here for the Aces.
Just admire the hitting of this guy. What a ball player.
So consistent.
Oh, he's just a magnificent baseball player.
Now 7 hits away from 300 in his ABL career. It's pretty good. Here's Jared Dale. First pitch. Chopped softly. Third base side. Sliding stop by Stevens. What a play. He was in front of the bag to again defend the bunt and knew he had to hurry. Used the turf to his advantage to spin and slide.
Yeah, we'll get a look at that here. Dale kind of chops that thing. It's tough to make that 360 and then turn and throw on a dime the way he did.
And he has to cut that one off before it gets to Atwood because it was hit so softly. So Whitefield at second. It is a productive out. Here's Robbie Glendinning. Singled back in the first and came all the way around to score from first on the RBI double from Bird. It's the only run of the night so far from both sides. First pitch is just a little bit low, 1-0.
Hey, you're right, Max. It essentially worked as a sacrifice, moving Whitefield down to second, 1 away.
Wide open right side of the infield for Glendinning. 1-0. 2-0. Barraza's been able to go deep into games this season. In fact, has tossed as high as 7 1/3. That was against Canberra a couple weeks ago, back in round 7. But the Aces have worked the count against him so far today. 2-0. Check swing. Inside. Did he go? Yes, he did. That's the first base umpire, Neil Douglas, on the call. 2-1. Let's get another look.
Yeah. I think so. Close.
I think he probably went around. So 2-1 now the count. This will be pitch number 44 for Barraza. Pitch. Good spot. Evens up the count at 2-2. seventh inning with 20 runs batted in on the season, just now 3 behind Bird for the team lead. Still top 10 in the ABL in that category as well. Two. Whitefield takes off for third. The pitch outside. The throw is high. A stolen base for Aaron Whitefield, and that secures him as the Aces stolen base king. He's got the most in franchise history.
Stolen base brought to you by South Meringue Motors. Get a look at it here. I thought he was in a bit of trouble here, but the throw is a little bit high. He gets in under it easily.
Career stolen base number 33 for him with the Aces. Number 97 in his career. He's 3 away from becoming the first ABL player in history to reach the 100 plateau. Big round of applause for him. 3-2 the count here with 1 down. Payoff. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Rios will throw, and Whitefield takes off for the plate. Here's the throw, not in time. Aaron Whitefield putting on a base running clinic. He steals a run, and it's 2-0 Melbourne. How about that?
Unbelievable play. Heads up play. What was I just saying a little while ago? Just what a complete baseball player. Just really smart.
Knows that Rios has to throw to first to complete the strikeout. You can see him anticipating it. And not close. Oh, my goodness. Here's Greg Bird. Pitch. Breaking ball taken for a strike.
Is he get a stolen base on that one?
I believe he does.
Yeah.
I believe that is a steal of home.
Just thinking that.
You could call it scoring on a wild pitch as well, because it was a strikeout or a strikeout completed on the wild pitch. 0-1 is fouled straight back. 0-2. We'll wait for the official scoring.
We'll have to figure that out.
Oh, my goodness. We'll talk about Sydney and their aggression on the base pass.
Yeah.
Aaron Whitefield encapsulates that in the stretch of 1 minute and 30 seconds.
When's the last time we saw the Aces playing small ball?
0-2. Fouled away. Still 0-2 here on Bird. That was shades of Aaron Whitefield against Perth in round 4 on that Sunday, where he stole second. The ball was then skipped into center, took off for third. The ball was bobbled by John Diaz, the Perth center fielder, and he came around to score on the same play. Look out in the third base sweeps.
Bird just staying alive here, chopped at that one, keeps himself at that 0-2 count.
Bird drove in a run with an RBI double to left back in the first. Barasa, a long hold. He's now set. 0-2 is outside. 1-2.
There's that eye from Greg Bird. You or I would have swung at that every day of the week.
Oh, I'm swinging at that 10 times out of 10.
He just lets it go.
Or I'm taking it because I didn't see it.
Well, yeah.
1-2. Swing, and it's served out to right center field. This one drops in a base hit. Bird's 2 for 2.
That was a hitting clinic. Gets behind 0-2, fouls, stays alive, takes that close pitch, and then clubs that one into right field for a hit. The professor of hitting does it again.
The professor indeed. An off-speed pitch running down out of the zone and dropped the barrel on it.
Unbelievable.
So here's Daryl George now with 2 down. Again, a run in on Whitefield scoring after stealing third and then taking off on the strikeout wild pitch. First pitch. Swinging a soft chopper over the mound. Circling around is Acton, is throwing the run wide. The tag applied on George to end the inning. Well, the Aces tack on another run. Aaron Whitefield does it all by himself. Singles, advances to second on a ground out, steals third, and then comes around to score on the strikeout wild pitch. We get to the top of the fourth. It's 2-0 Melbourne. Good day at the ballpark as the Aces lead 2-0, and those kids getting taught how to base run by Aaron Whitefield, who steals his 97th bag in his ABL career and then scores on a wild pitch. It was officially ruled just one stolen base over to third, and he scores on a wild pitch in quite an unorthodox way, Ed.
It's in that inning we saw two amazing baseball players. We saw Whitefield do that, and then Greg Bird with that great piece of hitting. It's just the kind of stuff you get from those two guys.
Well, against a scrappy Sydney team like this one, you're going to have to claw for runs, and that's exactly what the Aces have done so far.
Yep.
Jonathan Tripp worked out of trouble back in the third inning, got out of a second and third one-out jam, looking for a cleaner inning here. As Clayton Campbell leads things off for Sydney. First pitch is over the heart of the plate for strike one.
Campbell's a Kiwi, was in the Tigers organization, a couple of years in Auckland with the much-missed Tuatara.
0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Tuatara. Kuna Matata. Campbell leads the team in hits with 29, doubles with 9, also second in the league in that category. This one lined out to left center field pretty well, but Whitefield has it measured. One away.
That was hit very sharply, but you're right at him, and didn't have the elevation to get up there in the jet stream, so one away.
Breaking ball just hung and did barrel it up. So one away for Jalen Ray. Grounded out to short his first time up. A rare ball put in play tonight against Tripp that has been elevated. First pitch up and in, ball one.
Jalen Ray, one of those kids we talked about, played in the U.S. junior college in Central Arizona, won a junior college World Series there, then moved on to Western Kentucky, Australian kid.
Strike called, 1-1. From Australia to Western Kentucky.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
I've been to a city in Western Kentucky. I'm trying to remember what it was called. 1-1. Flown into the air to right. Glendenning on his horse towards the line. Out of play.
Got to give a shout out to our friend Eric Balnar for this stat. Ray finished tied for 9th nationally in sacrifice bunts.
Wow. Okay.
That's digging deep, Eric.
Eric does a phenomenal job with his research.
He certainly does.
Hey, sacrifice bunts, they're a lost art. So if you can find
100%.
anything to bring them up, it's special. Pitch is fouled away, still 1-2.
That was right off his wrist, really.
Just pouring that sinker in on his hands. Well, not a situation for Ray to drop down a bunt here. Nobody on and one out. But maybe later in the series, we'll see it. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Running away into the other batter's box, and Ray plays chase. 2 away. Second strikeout for Tripp.
Gonna look at this one now, Max. Yeah, tricky pitch. Good stuff.
Big curveball. Here's Alberto Rios.
Got the only hit of the night, and it was that well-placed ground ball between George and Dale.
It's your Stanford guy.
Stanford man, yep.
I was so confused when I first learned the mascot of Stanford. 1-0. Look out again. This one off the base of the dugout, 1-1.
I was there when they were the Cardinals. And
so was it a bird back then?
Then they had a vote. They had a vote between Cardinal, Griffins, Engineers, and Trees.
1-1's outside, 2-1. So how did they land on Trees?
Because this Palo Alto means tall tree. It's where
Oh.
the city's located. And the tree is the Stanford logo, the symbol.
It's a Stanford
is on the
education
field.
right there.
Yeah. And Cardinal won.
2-1. 2-2. So did you have a vote, or was
I
this
did.
like
Campus vote.
who'd you vote for, or which one?
I think there was a big push from the Athletic. The Jocks wanted Griffins for some reason.
Okay.
I think I might have voted for Cardinal. I think I went.
And
the
you're not
safe
saying
route.
that just because they won.
No, I think I did.
2-2.
I certainly
Breaking
didn't want
ball.
Engineers. That's a great pitch.
Ring him
Wow.
up. Third strikeout for Tripp, and he faces the minimum for the first time tonight. Jonathan Tripp standing mighty tall like a cardinal tree, right? I don't even know. Anyway, we ended the bottom of the fourth. It's 2-0 Melbourne.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Little horse race going on between innings here, brought to you by Punt 123. We had a false start. I didn't see a flag thrown.
Yeah, I know. I was very skeptical about that. Actually, it's all a bit of fun, so I guess it doesn't really matter if you false start. Race for fun.
Well, wait till the Diamond Dash. Diamond Dash has been quite a topic across ABL social media the last
Is that
couple
right?
days. Oh, yeah. It was great in Perth last weekend.
We should have an all-star Diamond Dash.
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing?
I guess the trouble be some guys get early leads, and, it's not exactly the most regulated sprint in the world.
Let's have Jake McKenzie and Aaron Whitefield.
And Max Durrington.
Beautiful.
How about that?
Right. Max Durrington,
Yeah.
we mentioned a couple weeks ago, the 17-year-old athletics prospect now with the Brisbane Bandits, setting some real big milestones in his sprinting. Here's Logan Moore to lead it off against Landon Barassa. First pitch is a breaking ball that bends outside, 1-0.
Oh, yeah, Max Durrington, Oakland Aces, signed with the Oakland Athletics. Finished sixth in that race that Gout won and got all that national and international attention.
But Durrington got our attention.
Sixth.
It's very impressive. 1-0. Strike called. Count evens up at 1-1.
Well, it's impressive because he's a baseball player, too, right? He's a professional baseball player who signed a big deal with the Athletics, and he's finishing sixth in a Queensland sprint against one of the world's best.
1-1. Swing and a miss. Tied him up 1-2. Just to have your name on that list, I mean, it's incredible. It's really good company.
Well, if Gout goes on to win something big, he can, Max can tell his friends, down the line, yeah, I almost beat him.
Almost. Hey, maybe they'll rematch again. Got it away, 2-2. But yes.
But can Gout hit a curveball? Probably not.
I can't imagine so. I'm trying to think of who it was. There was an Oakland Athletics player that they signed in the 80s who was a sprinter.
Was it Washington?
Yes, I think that was,
Yeah.
And they essentially signed him and said, we know you've never swung a baseball bat before, but you're here to steal bases. And I don't think he did very well.
I don't think he did either.
But he was basically signed to pinch run.
Yes.
It's a really impressive and interesting concept. Terrence Gore, Kansas City Royal back in the 2010s, another example, rolled foul 2-2. Gore did have a baseball background, but he essentially was jumping around to any playoff team and was added to the roster just before your playoff rosters had to be eligible. And he was there to steal bases.
Yeah, pinch runner.
Designated pinch runner, essentially. 2-2 down and in. 3-2 now to count.
Good eye from Logan here. Good at bat. As we mentioned, due for a hit.
Count full, looking to snap the 0 for 18 stretch, and he might do so in a large way. Deep right field, this one's gone. Logan Moore gets his first as an ace, and it was no cheapie. It's 3-0 Melbourne.
That home run brought to you by Crew Fitness. We might get a replay of that where I say he's due for a hit because he certainly delivered on that.
Spoke it into existence. That was a towering Titanic blast over the flags in deep right center.
What a hit. connected beautifully with that. Gets congrats from Jonathan Tripp, as you would now, with a 3-0 lead.
Well, it's looking good for Melbourne so far here, but again, just got to continue to add on here.
Yep.
First pitch to McCullough. Down low, 1-0.
It's a good piece of hitting again from Moore, patient.
Chopped on the ground is second. Acton secures and throws. One away. You've done that a couple times this year, Ed. Spoken a couple homers into existence.
I can assure you it's not done on purpose. Here's a look at that again. Moore strides right into it,
Wow.
meets it beautifully. You can tell from that elevation it's gone.
Way gone. Pitch to Edwards, lined right to short. Atwood snatches it off the clothesline. 2 away. He's been busy.
Super hard hit, but right at him.
Sliced right to him, too. He had a good view of it behind home plate.
Number 13, Chris Burke.
Well, here's Chris Burke. Pitch is called a strike, 0-1.
That's more what we were accustomed to with the Aces this year. Home run rather than stringing together a bunch of stolen bases and overthrows and things like that.
1-1 now, the count on Burke, who lined up to short his previous time up. This is an Aces team who loves to deliver the long ball here at home. 1-1. Grounded right back to Barassa, who snatches it out of the air and flips over in time to retire at the side. However, the Aces tack on another. Logan Moore sends his first homer as a Melbourne Ace out to deep right center to make it 3-0. We're moving on. Aces lead by 3 with Jonathan Tripp back to the mound after this.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Look at the Aces bullpen. Not really needed with a 3-0 lead, but I'm sure some action soon to come. Master Dry Cleaners, a family-run business operated by the Hudson family for over 70 years. They provide a full range of services through their 7 stores, a free pickup and delivery service for all your dry cleaning and laundry needs. Master Dry Cleaners can also help with repairs and alterations, wedding gown cleaning, cleaning of doonas and blankets. Find your closest Master Dry Cleaners store at masterdrycleaners.com.au.
Back at it here at Melbourne Ballpark, top of the 5th inning, and the Aces lead 3-0. First pitch to Joe Stevens is taken for a strike, 0-1. A lot of quick action so far, plenty of aggressive base running, and the most recent marquee moment, a solo homer from Logan Moore. Next pitch is down low, count evens up at 1-1.
Great for Logan to get that home run, sort of snap out of that little slump and really add to a Aces lead here.
1-1 is popped up out to right field. Glendinning. Watch it fly out of play. 1-2. just a little bit inside. 2-2. Jackknifed Stevens right there.
Wow. There we go.
Probably a good call. 2-2. Rounded right back up the box. McCullough can't get it. Threw into center for a leadoff base hit. Good work from Stevens. Took a close ball, too, and then sends a 3-hop rocket up the middle.
Takes a bounce. I think it's off the mound. Did that hit Tripp? Hard to say. Bounced off something.
I think it might have missed him.
Yeah, it might have just been the mound.
First pitch on the way to Solomon McGuire. Fastball taken for a strike, 0-1.
$89 miles an hour on that one. So he's hitting that 89-90 range with the fastball.
Here's the pitch from Tripp. Long to the air. Other way. Now to play. 0-2. Well, when these teams previously met, it was all Blue Sox. They absolutely dominated what was a 3-game stretch between the two teams. One of the 4 games was also postponed and will be made up in a couple of days on Saturday's doubleheader. That was probably Sydney at its hottest, but they have consistently been dominant this year. In that series, Sydney outscored the Aces 20-3. I mean, you don't see that too often. That is pure dominance on both sides of the ball. 1-2 the count of McGuire, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Bell tip held on by Edwards. 4th punch out for Tripp. 1 away.
Big strikeout there with the first batter getting on and the top of the order coming up. Very important strikeout. Great pitch.
So 1 away. Here's Brendan Ryan, the DH. Oh, and 1. Not only would 2 wins here in this series secure a playoff berth for Sydney, but it gets them closer to what would be a #1 seed, which has only happened once in their franchise's history, back in the inaugural ABL season in 2010-11. That's huge because it gives you home field advantage throughout the postseason. Little looper to second. What a smart play by McCullough. He'll get the force at second for the 4-3 double play. Now, I'll tell you what, Ryan runs well, so they weren't going to double him up, but I'm sure just trying to catch Ryan off guard. 2-way.
Yeah, I was hoping to see if maybe Ryan was kind of loafing down to first, but of course he wasn't.
So 2 down now. Here's Jake McKenzie. Bounce straight back, 0-1. McKenzie's reached base twice on a fielder's choice play, stole second. Oh, 1. Swing and a miss. A little bit extra mustard on that fastball from Tripp, 0-2.
90. A little bit high inside there.
1-2 now the count. No runs on 2 hits for Sydney, 3 runs. As there goes the runner. The pitch is slashed into the alley in right center field. What a beautiful piece of hitting. Racing around third is Ryan. He's going to try and score. Glendining's throw is cut off. Sydney on the board for the first time tonight. A hit and run executed to perfection. It's an RBI single for Jake McKenzie.
Yeah, could not do that any better, Max. You can see he gets to jump, hits right in a perfect spot that's going to get a fast runner home.
With 2 outs as well. So now the lead down to 2 for the Aces, and you have blazing speed at first base, and this is what Sydney does. And you look back to that play where McCullough allowed Ryan to reach. Stevens has good speed as well, but who knows if that hit and run play is even on in that instance. Either way, Tripp just going to try to get out of this inning here, allowing the 1 run. There goes McKenzie. The pitch is down and in, and Edwards won't even make a throw. So now in game number 13, Jake McKenzie is 13 for 13 in stolen base attempts. He's stolen 9 bags in his last 5 games. Video game numbers.
That is outrageous.
Built up your my player and cranked up his speed to 99. That's what McKenzie's done. 1-1 the count here on Corey Acton. The pitch is flown to the air to left. Whitefield watches it fly out of play. 1-2.
I mean, I guess the only thing you can do is throw over there 5 times and try to hold him on, but I don't know if that's going to help, right?
Tire him out by having him dive back so much.
Maybe,
There's no disengagement limits like
Yeah.
they've implemented in Major League and affiliated baseball. 1-2 from Tripp. Acton stays alive.
Really is remarkable. It's a sort of an extra weapon for Brook Knight there to have him on base.
Pitch count getting up there for Tripp now. This is a lengthy inning for him. The pitch number 70. McKenzie takes up for third as the pitch is rolled over to Bird. It's going to flip to Tripp, covering in time for the 3-1 putout. That'll end the inning. Tripp, a little ginger as he walks back to the first base dugout. Hopefully he's okay. Sidney gets on the board on the RBI single from Jake McKenzie as the Blue Sox look to wake the bats up. We enter the bottom of the 5th, halfway through it here in Melbourne. It's 3-1 Aces.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Popcorn, baseball, warm weather. The Aces leading. What else could you want? Ed White, Max Tanzer with you from Melbourne Ballpark. This is game 1 of a 5-game series between the Aces and the number 1 team in the ABL, the Sydney Blue Sox. Aces currently holding a 3-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Landon Barraza still on the mound. The Canadian has given up 6 hits, 3 runs, has struck out 3 batters.
He's looked solid, and again, just the 3 runs, a couple of swings, some savvy base running from the man who's leading it off in Aaron Whitefield, but aside from that, he's been able to keep these Aces bats quiet and limit soft contact, or hard contact. He's induced soft contact. Whitefield will lead it off. First pitch is cut on a miss for strike 1. It'll be the top of the order for the Aces, 1, 2, and 3 in the order.
A little bit of action in the bullpen, no throwing, just some that's the Aces bullpen. Same thing as the Blue Sox bullpen. Players just up and about, warming up.
That's Jack Fox stretching. That one's rolled foul, 0-2.
Not sure who it is in the Sydney bullpen. We'll get a look at some point. As I said, it's just stretching at the moment.
Barraza, 0-2. Down and away, 1-2. Barraza entered the inning with 66 pitches, so he's getting up into the same territory as Tripp as you get a look at some stretching. One, two, got him swinging. Strikeout leads off the inning. That's the 4th of the night for Barraza.
Big strikeout there, getting rid of Whitefield, especially as the leadoff guy. When he gets on, he can be dangerous, as we saw earlier.
So Jared Dale will dig in, grounded out to third back in the third inning. Sydney getting on the board on the RBI single from Jake McKenzie, who has been a bolt of lightning since he joined the club a few rounds ago. Assuming Sydney makes the playoffs, which they're more than poised to do so, McKenzie will be fun to watch for sure. When you get into those intense games where every little thing matters, he can make a difference. There's a base hit for Jared Dale.
You knew it was coming at some point.
The league's leading hitter continues to get things done. That's his first hit of the night.
He's not going to go hitless, you know that. As you said, you can pencil him in for one pretty much.
Get another look, just an easy ground ball right up the box. Nothing too crazy, just consistent. Well past Atwood, the shortstop. So here's Glendenning. He's 2 for 2 today or 1 for 2, struck out back in the second inning. Pitch on the way is served through a vacant right side and to right for a knock. Dale speeding around second into third. The throw and a hops of beauty, and they got him. John Diebel right behind third base umpire Jeff Dunn doesn't like the call, and he's sharing his thoughts. A cannon from Solomon McGuire in right. Not only is he the furthest outfielder from third base, that took him towards the line.
It was an incredible throw. I thought he was under it, but again, we don't have the best view, so maybe we'll get a look here. There's McGuire fielding it, firing, just one step throw. That's an incredible throw. A big bounce there. Unfortunately, the umpire is in the way and we can't see it. Look at John Diebel throwing his hands up. Wish we had a better view.
Greg Bird falls behind 0-1. It looked like maybe the argument was that oven mitt did slide in there. And in a game that's tight and a game that matters for both sides, taking a runner off of third base is huge. But it's not like the Aces haven't seen these Sydney arms. They were thrown out several times in their series at Sydney in round 3. Bird pops this one up out of play, 0-2. Thrown out by outfielders, I should mention as well. I mean, this Sydney outfield, manager Brooke Knight told us they could run it down, but they could flash it with the arm as well. You got to be careful on them.
That was an amazing throw.
I'm still in awe. I thought there was no chance. Dale runs well. Again, it's one thing from straightaway right to make a perfect throw like that, but he was moving to his left. That is right over the heart of the plate for strike 3 to retire Bird and end the inning. McGuire was moving towards his left, towards the line, as far away as he could from third base as we get another look right here. There's Dale on first with his good speed, gets a good jump, runs on contact. And again, he's moving to his left, then just takes a quick pivot and throws a one-hop rocket to third base to get Dale at third and end the inning. Well, we head to the top of the 6th. It's 3-1 Aces here at a good one at Melbourne Ballpark.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Aces lead Sydney 3-1. New Balance and Belgravia Apparel. New uniform and apparel sponsors for the Aces for the 2024-25 season. All Belgravia with select New Balance merch available at the Aces merch stand. Great to have them on board. Check it out at the Aces merch stand. You see the night starting to fall slowly here at Melbourne Ballpark. It's been a warm, humid afternoon and evening as we move here into the top of the 6th inning.
It's a good way to describe the weather. We haven't heard much from the Windman and Wyatt, our weather guy, our weather specialist.
It's been a strange night. The wind hasn't played a major
It hasn't.
part.
You're right about that. Andy Atwood to lead it off against Tripp, who hurls in a fastball for a strike to get things started. Tripp has been really good. aside from the one run of the RBI single from McKenzie, has escaped trouble a couple of times. Count evens up at 1-1. Looking to get through 6th innings for the 2nd consecutive home outing. Just over 70 pitches now for the right-hander. In good shape. 1-1. Down and away. 2-1. Something that Tripp talked to both of us about was one of the biggest keys for him for his start against Brisbane in round 7, where he struck out 11, was it was a quicker turnaround in terms of rest.
Yes.
Strike call to the top of the zone. 2-2. He mentioned that being the Game 1 starter after being the Game 2 starter in Canberra shortened it from pitching on a week's rest, basically. Strike 3 called. Got him looking. Punch at number 5 for Tripp. 1 up, 1 down here in the 6th. Instead to more 4 or 5 days rest like he saw when he was in the American Association.
Exactly. He did say that.
Backdoor sinker. Oh, that is perfect.
Couldn't be better.
Turning Atwood into a statue right there. Here's Clayton Campbell. First pitch. Swinging a foul tip for strike 1. Tripp has completed 6 innings twice this year in the ABL. Here's the 0-1. 0-2.
Maybe a great boost for John Beeble and Peter Moylan if he can do that here, which he looks pretty solid at the moment, Max.
He does. 2 outs away from qualifying for a quality start.
Is that an actual stat?
It is.
There you go.
0-2. This one's cracked out to left center field with some authority. Back is Whitefield. He runs it down to make the catch. Puts it in his breadbasket. 2 away.
Never in doubt. Never in doubt.
That one was given a ride out there, but even though he was moved over to left again, struggling with a little bit of a banged up knee, it's like 85% for him, I think, and that looks like everyone else is 100.
Ho-hum. Puts a glove out, makes a catch on the warning track.
Oh, that's incredible. 2 up, 2 down. Campbell stung the ball to Whitefield and left a couple of times. Here's Jalen Ray. First pitch from Tripp. Strike called, 0-1.
That's a big out, too, because, you know, that lands out there. It's a double, and, you know, who knows.
Quality start, by the way. 6 innings or more, allowing 3 earned runs or less.
There we go.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
I thought that was maybe a Max Tanzer stat. I did not know that's actually an official start.
It is.
90 miles an hour on that fastball still in the 6th inning. It's impressive.
That was his 80th pitch. Tripp with 5 strikeouts on the night. Number 6 would get him through 6 innings. 0-2. Rolled out left side. Dale backhands, throws across, got him. Tripp with a loud pound to his mitt as he's completed 6 innings of 1-run ball. The right-hander in good form here on this Thursday night in Melbourne. Aces lead 3-1. We go to the bottom of the 6th.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Look at that. Some vibrant service security right there.
Is he doing the weather up there?
He might be.
Sponsor the weather, so maybe he's up there checking it out.
He's got a good view right there on
certainly
the
does.
Party deck.
And 3s, right. Aces have 3.
There you go. Oh, that's perfect.
Knows what he's talking about.
Can go watch from that perspective in the party deck. Again, bring some of your friends along to the ballpark. Plenty of time to buy tickets. 4 games left in this series over the next 3 days after this one. Aces lead it 3-1 as Landon Barassa out for his 6th inning of work trying to match Tripp.
Good pitching duel. Been really good.
Really good. A couple of really solid outings.
That's a nice shot.
Good shot on the camera right there.
Luckily, that's what she's watching.
That's one of our sportscasts. No, that's actually one of our photographers.
Oh, yeah.
I should say. A shot of the photographer. It's very deep. 7, 8, and 9 due up here. Or due up in the next inning for Sydney. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Aces to open up this frame. Daryl George will lead things off. He struck out a couple of times. Barassa ready. His first pitch of the 6th is swung on and missed for strike 1.
I mean, I could say Daryl's due, but I kind of feel like I have to do it. It's spur of the moment. I'm just not a performing dog, Max. You can't just say he's due and then I say he's due.
You never know. Count evens up at 1-1. Our window's open, so maybe he heard you.
Potentially.
Maybe the baseball gods heard you. They heard you when Logan Moore was inning. Daryl with 3 homers this year. Sends this one high in the air to shallow center. Ray got a late jump. Here comes McGuire in right. Make the catch. 1 away. So 1 up, 1 down. Here is Logan Moore after his home run back in the 4th inning. Gave him his 3rd RBI as well. Snapped an 0 for 18 stretch.
That's how to break up a slump. No doubt about that.
First pitch. Down low. 1-0. Barassa looking to get through at least 6 innings for the 6th time this year. Again, he's topped out at 7 1/3 2 weeks ago. Swinging a foul tip. Count evens up at 1-1.
Noah Owen up and throwing for the Aces.
Owens looked good. He threw 3 really good innings a couple nights ago, or I should say now a week ago against Perth.
Still no real action in that Sydney bullpen, although maybe you'll see it after this inning.
And Barassa can get deep into games. Now over 80 pitches as you get a look at Noah Owen. Quick inning here. Maybe they give him the ticket for the 7th. Who knows? 2-1. Down low, 3-1. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jonathan Tripp's night probably done with Owen warming up. Tripp also going through 6 innings of work tonight. Has looked really good. I think they maybe want to end it on a good note. No Aces pitcher has gone past the 6th this year as well on top of that. Hitters count. 3-1 is roped to the right side. Corey Acton slides and stops it and makes a dandy of a play for out number 2.
You got 15, 20 minutes penciled in tomorrow. Because if Tripp finishes and wins this one like this, he'll have plenty to tell us tomorrow.
I'm excited to hear it.
100%.
Hey, it was a great conversation.
100%.
Great couple of conversations we had
Yep.
after the Brisbane start. It's interesting, too, because he's so locked in on a game day, as you would imagine most pitchers are. McCullough pops this one up out of play.
Yeah, it's a good point. I actually walked by him a couple times and was tempted to go, hey, how you doing? But realized he was starting, so stayed away. But he had the headphones in. He was just focused, as he said.
And he sits in that first base dugout, too.
Yes.
Not every starter does that. Some of them will sit back in the clubhouse. Some of them will do their own thing. But Tripp likes to sit out there during batting practice, has the headphones on, as you mentioned, and intensely watches. And I'm sure maybe some visualization. 0-1. Strike called at the knees. McCullough shares a couple thoughts with home plate umpire Takayuki Uchikawa. 0-2. What do we got? Some big bash
the big
there?
bash. Yeah, it is. Watching the little cricket.
2 sports in 1. 0-2 down low.
2 somewhat similar sports. I get it.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. You want to call it, Ed?
Ball swing. That could be out. Sky high.
It's going.
Could be out. Got it.
It's
Wicket. What a catch.
Not a specky. Great call.
Thanks.
1-2. Are we going to get copyrighted for that? I don't know. Still wanted to down.
You know what? Knowing Cricket Australia, probably. I'll probably get an email tomorrow about it.
I went to a not a Dallas Stars, goodness. I went to a Melbourne Stars game.
And I'm guessing they lost because it was a while ago.
They lost to Brisbane.
I think they've won 2 in a row, but they were pretty bad for a while there.
1-2. Swing, and this one's roped out to center. Another base hit from McCullough with 2 strikes. He's 2 for 3 today.
Hey, he's looking good at the plate. No doubt about that. We're going to look at this again. Jumped on that. And we know he can run. He stole the base in the second, so potentially doing that now. You never know with 2 outs, but
maybe he wants to get into scoring position. 4 stolen bases to his credit this year. Check to first. Barassa has the same thing in mind. Oh, so Pokemon Go now.
Do you want to call that?
I have no idea what to say, but it looks like something was unlocked.
He shot something. He's unlocked it.
I don't know which one that is. We're going to see a meeting at the mound right here. So, Pokemon Go interrupted.
Directors better be on point here when if you put something on that screen that shouldn't be on the screen. We'll blame that on Max if that's the case.
I'll take responsibility.
There is the meeting at the mound as we talked about. Barassa going deep.
This is dangerous. I don't know if I go with the Instagram reels there.
Hey, here we go.
Sportscast trivia of the day. Which Aces player had both parents play high-level rep softball? I know the answer, too.
Do you?
I know it because I wrote the media guide.
Okay, well, we'll leave it up there in case anyone else wants to get back to us on our Facebook page if you're watching this.
If you're watching on Facebook Live, drop a comment in. If you're watching on YouTube, stay on YouTube, but maybe open up your phone, open up Facebook, and then you can comment also at the same time. Let us know who you think. I never realized how big softball is here, and it's not just softball like women's softball, but there's men's softball too, and it's not slow pitch softball, right?
No, it isn't. No, it's fast pitch. And very big in New Zealand, by the way. Men's fast pitch in New Zealand is very big.
Here's Mitch Edwards. Stung a ball on a line to short his last time up. He's 0 for 2 today. McCullough with good speed over at first. First pitch. Edwards shows bunt, pulls back, and takes upstairs ball 1.
Got a message from my good friend Eric Bonner. Says we are on in the war room at the Australian Youth Championships.
Okay.
So we better clean up our act.
They don't want to watch Pokemon Go? Want to know the count? Here's the pitch. Skied out to left. This one will slice out of play. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's a big at-bat here from Mitch. If he can get on or push McCullough around to second or third, brings up Burke, who's hit it sharply.
Look at McCullough's lead over there, 4 of 4 in stolen base attempts so far in his young ABL season. 1-1. Time called by the home plate umpire, Ichikawa, so that pitch will not count. While Sydney very quickly here down to their final 9 outs in this game, but still just a bloop and a blast away from tying this up. Again, 2 wins away this weekend from clinching their first playoff berth since 2018-19. Aces looking to play some spoiler. Here's the 1-1. Rounded sharply inside the bag. What a beauty. It'll trickle towards the corner. McCullough turning on the Jets will get the stop sign. Throw back in comes quickly. There's a double for Mitchell Edwards. Second and third here with 2 away in the 6th.
Yeah, perfect placement of that, and I think a great call by John Diebel there. I think well fielded and left by McKenzie. That's a great sharp hit. Past Stevens at third. McKenzie's on it. McCullough was really running with intent, but as I said, I think it would have been a tough play as Edwards does his little celebration at second base.
So here's Chris Burke, top of the order, and Aaron Whitefield on deck. Barassa looking to finish his night strong. First pitch is down and in. 1-0. Now at 92 pitches. So this is likely the right-hander's final inning as action continues to brew down the left field line to the Sydney pen. Knowing this Sydney offense, Aces need insurance here. 1-0. Swing, and this one's cracked on a line. Right center field, it's down to the gap, and it'll hop off the wall. McCullough and Edwards will score. Burke in a second with a rocket 2-run double, and right on cue, he provides some insurance. It's 5-1 Aces.
Not to blow my own horn, Max, but I did say it was an important at-bat. If Edwards can get a hit and set the table for Burke. Here it is, table set, table cleared.
A sinker that just ran right over the heart of the plate, and Burke took care of it. Give him RBIs 11 and 12 on the season, and he continues to produce at the bottom of this Melbourne order.
Brian Blanton was warming up in the bullpen for Sydney, so there might be a little bit of a take your time here and bring him on, or they may pitch to Whitey.
Pick your poison in Whitefield and Dale.
So true.
Well, Whitefield's 1 for 3, singled, scored on a stolen base, then a wild pitch. Take a look at our Sportscast trivia answer of the game. We got Aaron Whitefield. Well, there he is digging into the plate here. Both his parents played high-level rep softball. First pitch, this one's sent in the air to deep right field. McGuire back at the track. See you later. Aaron Whitefield charges one up the other way. His third homer of the season, and the Aces taking some authority in this one.
That is brought to you by Crew Fitness. Max, rarely will you hear me criticize a manager or a pitching staff. I think they left him out there too long. You got Whitey coming up. I know he was 1 for 2, but it's still Aaron Whitefield, and he delivered.
And there was that Polaroid shot, a good one here as the sun continues to set here at Melbourne Ballpark. 7-1 Aces. Dale lines one out to left. McKenzie's there. He reels it in to end the inning. The Aces push across 4 more runs, all with 2 outs, as we get another look at the Aaron Whitefield 2-run blast to right. Going the other way for his 3rd homer of the season. Of the Aces all of a sudden flip a coin, and they lead by 6. Top of the 7th on its way. Noah Owen in.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. What an inning for the Aces. 7-1, they lead it. Business Network International is flourishing across Melbourne's west and Geelong. Local businesses, including the Aces, by the way, join BNI for professional development, networking opportunities, and to increase business prospects. Find your local BNI chapter to tap a wealth of resources and join a winning team. Ed White and Max Tanzer with you, and we have a new pitcher, Max.
Coming out to some heavy metal. That's Noah Owen, who's been really good in his 2 outings so far. 4 innings, is not allowed a run. We'll get 7, 8, and 9 here in the Sydney lineup, who now all of a sudden trail by 6. First pitch from Owen. Upstairs 1-0. Owen was huge against Perth back in the last weekend. 3 shutout innings, a couple of strikeouts, and John Diebel's giving him the ball. And what was initially going to be a high leverage spot, all of a sudden now quite comfortable. 1-1 now the count. It is wild, Ed, even with 2 outs in the inning, how so much can change in just a matter of a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it sure is. And look, I just had a feeling that, you've got 2 men on, you got Whitefield coming up. I just think with a tiring pitcher, he's the best hitter in the league, essentially, right?
One of them, if not the
top
best.
2, right? So he's a veteran. He knows he hits in the clutch. I just think that's a dangerous thing to leave that pitcher out there.
96 pitches Barrasso finishes his night with. 2-2 is now the count.
It's a huge inning for the Aces. I know that sounds like Captain Obvious, but in terms of the season and the way it could unfold, it's a huge inning.
Well, it seems like a lot of them come in bunches for them. Swing and a miss. Good start for Noah Owen. Gets a breaking ball for strike 3.
It's a 6 strikeout overall for Aces pitchers.
And Rio's down on strikes for the second time.
Yeah.
So a quality start for Jonathan Tripp. And he's in line for the win. Here's Joe Stevens now. 1 for 2 today. Single to open up the 5th.
Cool.
And if you look back at Tripp's outing, there's a couple of pivot points, I think, in the game where in the starts where he struggled, other teams' offenses have started to ambush him, but he was able to get out of trouble and stop the bleeding a couple of times tonight, which was huge. 1-1 down the count. In the 3rd, there was runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out after a walk, a unique fielder's choice play, and a stolen base. Got out of that inning without allowing a run. Then to the 5th, this one sent out to right. Glendenning trailing towards the line. It's got it. 2 away. In the 5th inning, though, gave up the RBI single to McKenzie on a hit-and-run play after a couple quick outs. And then immediately gets a quick out to Corey Acton after McKenzie stole himself in the scoring position. Those 2 innings alone, pivotal, keeping that game tight. Who knows where we're at if Sydney's able to get back into this ball game. It was just 3-1 Aces a couple moments ago. First pitch to McGuire taken on the outer edge, 0-1.
It's my first time seeing Owen live. Works pretty quickly, pretty efficient.
0-1. 0-2. Owen, one of the many new relievers that has joined the Aces over the last few weeks. Started the season in affiliated ball with the Angels organization. Also was with the White Sox organization to start his professional career. This year was at AA Rocket City. Still 0-2. And 11 relief appearances, posted a 5.57 ERA. Then finished the season with the Glacier Range Riders, in the Pioneer League. He's ahead 0-2. Pitch. Down and away. 1-2.
That's a good pitch. Didn't want to come in too close. Maybe get McGuire to bite on it.
One, two. Swing and a miss. Bottom fell out of that one, and it gets the chase to end the inning. 1, 2, 3 go down the Blue Sox. A couple of punch-outs for Noah Owen in his first frame of work. Time to stretch here at Melbourne Ballpark. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Aces lead by 6.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Sweet Caroline is playing here as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. New pitcher on is Todd Gratton. He's a 38-year-old. This is ABL season number 13 for him, if you can believe that. Career 5.15 ERA. Only pitched about 4 innings last season, but has been one of the better club ball players in Sydney for many, many years. So he'll come in here and try and keep the Aces to 7 runs, which is currently where they sit at the moment. Ed White and Max Tanzer with you as you get a look at the crowd here singing along.
He'll play some skee ball with that submarine delivery, which will be tough for Aces hitters to pick up, I'm sure. Aces lead by 6 thanks to a big 6th inning. A 2-run homer from Aaron Whitefield, a 2-run double from Chris Berg, all with 2 outs.
There we get a look at Whitey just putting that into right field. Barasa can only watch it. All business. I don't think he knew it was gone at that point, the way we've seen here in the ballpark, but once he gets down the line, he knows it's gone.
Look at that. Maybe the Polaroid shot coming up instead. Oh, we got the Polaroid shot. There's Jared Belbin. Wow. Mitchell Edwards on the jump high 5 right there. Here's Glendening to lead it off. First pitch is inside, and that gets Glendening on the jersey, and he'll take first base. First hit batter of the night, and a leadoff base runner for the Aces. Not the start that Slanton was looking for.
No, not in any way, shape, or form.
So here's Greg Bird. 1 for 3, drove in a run with an RBI double to left back in the first inning. Again, this game 1 of 5 this weekend. Game 2 tomorrow, games 3 and 4 on Saturday, and game 5 of matinee on Sunday. Pitch. Bird taken all the way. It's a strike.
Good pitch.
0-1. Two-out production has been the story on both sides of the ball tonight. The Aces have had a knack for scoring with 2 runs so far. 0-1. With 2 outs as that one's taken upstairs, 1-1. Bird's RBI double in the first game with 2 away. And then the 4 runs in the 6th all came after 2 quick outs. 1-1. 1-2, and you can see Bird just sitting back as long as he can. Again, with that delivery, he's not going to rush up there. Going to sink on you and try and get some uncomfortable swings and misses. Hey. Do some soft contact with that as well. One, 2. Just got a piece of it, slashes it away. Count still holds. Pretty good crowd on hand here for a Thursday night, but again, make sure to come out to the ballpark if you haven't gotten the chance. Just 2 home series left here in the regular season. Got some fireworks tomorrow night. Glendening, a great jump, takes off, and Bird will chop it on the ground as second, eaten up by Acton. His throw in time, 1 away, but Glendening moves over to second base after taking off just a second or 2 before Blanton started his delivery.
That was a huge jump. A little smirk there from Robbie.
Here's Daryl George with 1 away. What I love about the fireworks here at Melbourne Ballpark is a lot of people go to the ballpark, they're waiting for the fireworks until after the game ends, but when the Aces hit homers, they launch the fireworks as well, so the show really starts at first pitch.
Pretty much.
Just hoping the Aces hit some long balls.
Well, we've seen 2 tonight.
First pitch to George. Up and in, 1-0. That Perth series back in round 4. We run out of pyrotechnics, I'm sure, with how many home runs were in that series. The Aces hit 11 that weekend. Those 2 teams, Perth and Melbourne, have had a knack for the long ball. 1-0. Strike called. Got evens up at 1-1.
That's a tough pitch. He comes in with that sidearm submarine thing and he catches the outside corner. Very tough.
So difficult, especially for a right-handed pitcher when you have a right-handed submariner on the bump. 1-1. Swinging a ground ball, stung up the box into center for a knock. Glendenning will score with ease. It's an RBI single for Daryl George, and the Aces lead 8-1. They continue to add on here in the 7th.
That's great from Daryl. As we said, he's due for a hit. Big hit there, brings Robbie around. 8-1.
RBI number 15 for Daryl. That's his first hit of the night. We can see this one just a rocket right back up the middle, off the side of the mound.
And Bratton's punished for hitting the first batter of the game, Glendenning.
Those leadoff free passes always come around the bite.
Yep.
Now 13 hits for the Aces, and their prowess at home just continues.
Crazy.
Incredible. Here's Logan Moore. Slow bender in there for a strike, 0-1.
I guess that's the thing that kind of really puzzled us in the Brisbane series. The worst team in the league comes in, Aces win the first 2, and then bang, Brisbane wins the next 3.
And then they stole a game from Sydney in game 1 of their series last weekend. 0-2. They're playing a gritty brand of baseball over there in Brisbane, even being as far out of it as they are. But still, got a chance. You never know. When 4 of 6 teams make the playoffs, it takes a lot to be eliminated early. George takes his lead from first. 0-2. Still 0-2.
A smart hitting from Moore there. He waited.
The train going off around the ballpark.
That's that noise that you might hear in the background.
I've never heard a train make that sound before. 0-2. Popped up on the infield. Blanton giving it a look. He'll make way to Stevens, the third baseman. 2 away. So they'll make way to Morgan McCullough now as some country will bury out the train. There it is. Just wanted a little shout out on the Aces broadcast. Passing over the left center field wall. That's a shot. It sneaks behind the batter's eye in right center. Might be my train home. I think I missed it.
And jump a boxcar home.
Yeah, right. First pitch to McCullough's inside.
Have one of those sticks with a bandana tied to it as you walk.
Yes.
Jump on.
Yes.
A bottle in a brown paper bag.
You just nailed my post-game fit perfectly. 1-0. Strike called 1-1. Well,
pitch.
The horn is stopped, but play continues. McCullough's 2 for 3 today after a 1 for 13 road trip. So a good bounce back here at home. 1-1. Stung on the ground to short, gobbled up by Atwood. A brick wall. He throws over to retire the side. Aces push across another run on the RBI single from Daryl George. A run on a hit, no errors, and a runner left as we head to the top of the 8th. Melbourne leading 8-1.
Omnigraphics, your leaders in super wide format printing across Australia. With 2 full-scale production facilities in Queensland and Victoria, our centres are equipped to handle the most ambitious printing projects, backed by a dedicated team of over 70 full-time staff. We specialise in a wide range of print formats, from billboards and banners to retail and events. We deliver impactful solutions that stand out in any environment. Our commitment to excellence includes continuous investment in cutting-edge technology, ensuring precision, speed, and reliability. This allows us to tackle even the most complex printing requirements with ease. Dream, design, deliver. Partner with Omnigraphics for your next printing project.
And we're back here at Melbourne Ballpark as the sun almost completely set. But before we talk about the 8th inning, let's take a look at our play of the game brought to you by Aces Sporting Club. How many times has a strikeout from an ace been involved in a play of the game? This is the first time this year at least. Glendenning strikes out, but Aaron Whitefield races home after the catcher and Rios threw to first to complete the strikeout. I mean, my goodness, Ed, he is just incredible. Your Aces play of the game brought to you by Aces Sporting Club, a premium golf practice facility based in Altona right here in Melbourne's western suburbs. They host birthdays, engagements, key milestones, and more. For more info, visit acessportingclub.com.au. As Brendan Ryan leads things off and takes down low for ball one.
And that just kind of encapsulated what the Aces have done here in this game. 91 miles an hour on that pitch from Owen, by the way.
1-0. Popped up out of play, 1-1.
It has been sort of the kind of game in a way that we expected the Blue Sox to play, Max. That kind of gritty, base stealing, taking advantage of errors, moving runners along, that sort of thing. Obviously with the 2 home runs dropped in there as well.
Grounded right up the middle in the center for a base hit. So a leadoff single for Brendan Ryan. That's his first hit of the day. Quick note on the defensive side, Daryl George out of the game at third base, and Jared Belbin in over at the hot corner to take over. Again, up by this much, maybe John Diebel's just trying to get Daryl some rest ahead of what will be a long weekend.
Yeah, take advantage of that big lead at the moment. Not a bad thought.
Here's Jake McKenzie now. First pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1. So Belbin will stay in the game, batting in the 5 spot. Good time to end George's night after that RBI single, end on a high note. Pitch, bounced straight back, 0-2. Well, Owen topped out at 3 innings his last time out in Perth, and we'll see if they stretch him any longer than 2, but either way, he's done a good job of providing length for the Aces last weekend and tonight as well. All you could ask for if you're John Diebel, especially now, talked about it in round 7 as well, Ed. In a 5-game series, you need just as much as you can out of every single pitcher here. All hands on deck. Stung on the ground to second. McCullough slides over, goes to short for 1. Dale's relay in time. That was gorgeous. 4-6-3. What a beauty, 2 away.
Brought to you by Master Dry Cleaners. That is what we call a pitcher's best friend, Max.
Indeed. Get another look. This was hit sharply, and McCullough had to throw opposite of the direction that ball took him. That was perfect.
Yeah, that's a wonderful play by McCullough. Just that sort of underarm throw with some speed on it.
Grounded wide of first. Bird will pick it up. Acton is retired on the 3-1 putout as that'll end the inning. Noah Owen faces the minimum. We enter the last of the 8th. Aces lead 8-1.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Beautiful sunset here at Melbourne Ballpark as this game is flying by. We begin the bottom of the 8th inning. Just 2 hours into it, the Aces lead 8-1 as Gratton's out for another inning of work. 9-1-2 due up, and Noah Owen has done a really good job as Billy Parsons begins to heat up in the pen for the Aces.
Yeah, absolutely right. See, look at that beautiful scoreboard here at Melbourne Ballpark. There is Parsons and the rest of the Aces bullpen. And see if the home team can add to the lead here with Mitch Edwards, Chris Burke, and that man again, Aaron Whitefield.
He's having a night, right?
Oh.
Broke the Aces franchise stolen base record. Scored on a wild pitch. Strikeout wild pitch that didn't even leave the batter's circle. And then It's a 2-run blast the other way to right.
I heard they were going to give him the base to celebrate it, but Mick Warren said, no, we can't afford you taking
You know,
the
I
base."
was thinking, assuming he can get to 100 by the end of the year, which he's in good shape to do 8 games after this one, and he needs 3. Why not give him the base?
Absolutely.
It's not my decision to make. It's this one, I think, got the kneecap of Acton at second. So Edwards will be safe at first as that one rolled all the way out to Atwood at short. Doesn't feel good. Likely an E4.
Yep.
Edwards stung this one.
Yeah, it looked like a routine out. Just took a bit of a hop there.
So another leadoff base runner here for Melbourne. It's the second consecutive inning in which they've done so. And here's Chris Burke.
Hey, Gratton is going, thanks. Another runner on.
And Murderer's Row is looming.
Exactly.
First pitch to Burke is popped up out to left field. It's got some carry on it. Jake McKenzie scampers over, squeezes it, 1 away. Back to first goes Edwards. That is ruled an E4, by the way, on Corey Acton at second base. Tough one again. That was a one-hop rocket with some topspin on it.
And we do need to reiterate again, Whitey's doing this with a sore knee. He's not at 100%.
Talked to him before the game, and he said he was doing all right, but you know, he's tough. Lines this into right field. I mean, good knee, bad knee, it doesn't matter. He just picks up base hits. That's his third of the night. He's 3 for 5. First and second now.
He's unbelievable.
Serving it the other way.
It just makes it look easy. That's the thing. Amazes me.
So a good spot here for Jared Dale. He's got a base hit today. Whitefield, by the way, now leading the ABL with 41 hits. First pitch to Dale. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1 the count.
Nice breaking ball there from Gratton.
I mean, at this point, he might be close to surpassing Dale, who entered 20 points above him.
I was wondering about that.
Swing and a miss. Big rip.
Dale's,
0-2.
yeah, because Dale's sitting on 1-2. Well, he's 1 for 3, 1 for 4 going into this at-bat.
Whitefield's career high for hits in the season into the ABL is 53. That was with Brisbane in 2016-17. So 41, 8 games to go. He's in reach. Dale stays alive. Oh my goodness, would have been a great play. Instead, a souvenir for someone else.
Is that an E?
I think so.
I'll wait for the score on that.
Hey, he's having a good time.
He is.
Not camera shy. 0-2 the count.
Did you see that little kid at the Arsenal-Newcastle game?
I
They
didn't.
caught him on camera waving, and apparently the parents had written a note saying he was sick.
Oh,
no.
no.
It was on national TV all across Great Britain, and they went back and said, "We're sorry, you're going to have to change that. We're changing it to unexcused absence."
They'll have to show him Ferris Bueller's Day Off now.
Yeah.
1-2 now the count. I've missed school a couple times for being sick, but at baseball games.
That's not a good role model, Max.
I know, I'm sorry. Sometimes you just got to do it for the game. 2-2.
For the love of the game.
I could say it now that I'm older.
Yes.
Would never have admitted it 8 years ago. Never. Edwards at second, reached on the E4. Whitefield over at first, single. 2-2. Breaking ball served softly out to right. This one drops a base hit. Station to station go the base runners. Second hit for Dale. And the bases are full of aces here with 1 away.
Dale says, I don't want to give up the batting title just yet. That was a great piece of hitting. Just kind of went with it. Watch this. Comes down, kind of pushes it just into right field. That's just a really good piece of hitting.
And what makes that so difficult is it's running in on your hands.
Yes, exactly.
With that submarine movement. And just forces it into right. So here's Robbie Glendinning. He's red hot. 2 for 3 tonight. First pitch. Breaking ball, loops in for a strike, 0-1. Aces have yet to hit a grand slam this year.
You're trying to be like me, Max. Trying to manifest a grand slam home run.
I won't take credit. Fouled straight back, 0-2.
That's up on the party deck. Someone's going to get themselves an easy souvenir.
Little Easter egg hopping around over there.
Indeed.
So a little update on the race for the batting title. Whitefield at 380. Dale back to 398 after going 2 for 5. 0-2.
Back to 398.
Yeah, right?
So absurd.
I mean, it makes sense because if you go 2 for 5, that's a 400 average, and he entered tonight 2 ticks under 400. So,
yep.
Casual 398 for Jared Dale. 1-2. Softly tapped. Going to be tough to turn 2. In fact, they won't. Acton will throw to first in time to retire Glendinning. Edwards comes around to score from third, and it's 9-1 Melbourne. An RBI for Robbie. That's his first of the night and 21st on the season. Now, Aces are 1 run away from double digits, something they've done plenty here at home. Well, for Sydney, one of the best pitching staffs in the league. In fact, entered tonight leading the ABL in ERA at a 3.25 clip. Charged for 9 and counting this evening. First pitch down low to Greg Bird. Now their home and road ERAs have quite a discrepancy. 1.77 at Blacktown International Sports Park compared to 4.67 away from home entering tonight. 1-1 the count here on Bird. And we talked about it a little bit earlier. We talked about it with Blue Sox manager Brooke Knight. Their ballpark is so deep, and they're a staff that pitches to contact that it plays to their advantage. He even said, we want to play in the bigger ballpark.
Yeah.
Because on the offensive side, they're so good at manufacturing runs as well. 1-1. Check swing, look out over to the third base dugout. 1-2. It doesn't end there, though. The amount of home runs they've given up is incredible at home. Including both teams playing, Blacktown International Sports Park has allowed just 8 homers this season. Pitch to Bird is chopped foul. Still 1-2. I mean, what? Put that in perspective. Arturo Diesla, before he left the Aces, was right in that territory right there. Melbourne Ballpark, meanwhile, this year, before tonight, including home and visiting teams, allowed 37 home runs this year.
Wow.
An average of 2.8 here in Melbourne compared to 0.5 in Sydney. There was a home run every 2 games in Sydney over its first 15 games this year. It's incredible. 1-2. Popped up shallow right field. Acting out in is McGuire. It's McGuire who lunges in to make the snow cone grab. Inning over. The Aces tack on another on the RBI groundout from Robbie Glendinning. A run on 2 hits, an error, a couple left as we head to the top of the 9th. Aces lead by 8. Looking for the final 3 outs when we come back.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
And we're back here at Melbourne Ballpark, top of the 9th inning. Aces lead at 9-1. Max Tanza here, joined alongside Ed Wyatt. As Billy Parsons on the mound for the Aces, looking to secure the final 3 outs of this one, behind 9 runs offensively for Melbourne, as well as 6 innings of 1-run ball from Jonathan Tripp, who was really good tonight.
Yeah, and sorry, Max, just to say, this is how you want to start off a 5-game series. We did say the same thing against Brisbane, for example, so you want to continue it through the weekend, but this is a great start against the best team in the ABL.
4, 5, and 6 due up for Sydney. Atwood, Campbell, and Ray. Again, the Aces 14 and 17, half a game behind Perth for the final playoff spot. Meanwhile, Sydney at the top of the standings at 20 and 11. First pitch to Atwood is fouled straight back for strike one. Meanwhile, we have a final in Canberra. The Cavalry beat the Heat 3-1. So, assuming this score holds, the Aces are back in the playoffs. Swing and a miss, strike two. 0-2. Giants beat the Bandits, or they're beating the Bandits 7-0. That one at the bottom of the fifth.
That pitch 92 from Billy Parsons. That's some heat.
He can rush it up there. 0-2. Tapped softly to Parsons. Takes his time. One away. So those who are in the magic number hunt, again, Sydney at 4, meaning a combination of 2 Aces losses and 2 Sydney wins, means they're in the playoffs. It would stay at 4 if this score holds. Meanwhile, the Aces just looking to inch closer up the standings. They play Adelaide, who's in second place this week. Next week, make that. Count is 1-0 here on Clayton Campbell. Doesn't get much better than this, especially with 4 teams of the 6 making the postseason. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Getty's up at 1-1. For Sydney as well, it's pretty much a shoo-in that they're going to make the playoffs. But what is on the line is seeding. Adelaide's not far from behind them. Swing and a miss, strike two.
Yeah, that's right. You want to finish 1 and 2 ideally, right, for that home field advantage.
If this score holds and Adelaide's score holds, the Giants would move to a game and a half back behind Sydney. Again, still enough of a cushion, but you want as big of a lead as you can get. 1-2. Fouled straight back, 1 and 2. And that sounds obvious, of course, but more particularly in the final stretch here, we got, after this one, 8 games left for both of these teams, 7 left for the Adelaide Giants. Parsons set. 1-2. Check swing fouled. Count still holds. One, two. Outside. Gowdyman's up at 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
Yes, and even though you got a big lead, you want to get this thing over with quickly, Max. You don't want a long inning here.
2-2 is popped up first base side out of play. Count still holds. For Parsons, his last outing was on Sunday against Perth. That was a really tough one for the Aces, a 14-1 loss. Walked 3, struck out 1, didn't give up a run. Tossed 31 pitches, but 3 days of rest for the right-hander. 2-2, still the count on Campbell. Pitch. Popped foul and out of play. Count still holds. One thing that's a positive for Sydney is they've only used 2 pitchers tonight.
Yep.
And in a series where you play an extra game, you have the doubleheader, that's huge, especially in the first game. Parsons, just the 3rd Aces pitcher used tonight. 2-2. Breaking ball, cranked in the air to left. Whitefield back, the wind will knock it down. As Aaron makes the catch, 2 away.
Yeah, it was hit really well, but you're right. I think the wind just kind of hit there, or maybe it wasn't hit, maybe elevated a little bit more than we thought from our spot up here. Let's have a look here. It looked like it was hit really well, actually, but just didn't get enough of it.
So the last hope for Sydney tonight, Jalen Ray. We'll be back on the airwaves tomorrow at 7 p.m., 6:50 for the Brick Lane pregame show. Ray swings and misses for strike 1, 0-1. Again, a big thank you for all of you tuning in tonight. We know we've had listeners, of course, here in the Melbourne area, over in Sydney as well at the Australia Youth Championships. Here's the 0-1. Popped up, shallow right. In fact, it'll stay near the diamond. McCullough's there, makes the catch, and the ball game is over. The Aces with another convincing win here at home. They win it 9-1 and move to 15-17 on this season. They're back in 4th place. They're back in a playoff spot, and they do so in a big way.
Yeah, that's a great win. Great way to start things off. Just when you look down the score sheet, the efforts, obviously, Tripp was remarkable. Noah Owen did a great job. Parsons comes in and closes it out. Whitefield, Dale, Glendenning, Bird, Daryl George, Logan Moore with a home run. McCullough has a couple of hits. Mitch Edwards, Burke. Everyone contributed to this game. Did I leave anyone out? I don't think I did.
You are absolutely right, Ed. And again, 9 runs on 15 hits for Melbourne. And most of the production, very much like Game 2 against Brisbane, came in that 6th inning. I mean, just absolutely incredible stuff from the Aces. A lot of that production with 2 outs as well. And you can't forget about Jonathan Tripp, who is really good, earns the win. 6 innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 5 strikeouts as well. Believe we're joined by Jonathan Tripp on the field right now up that first base line. Jonathan, can you hear us?
I can hear y'all.
Jonathan, a really good outing once again here at home for you tonight. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. What was working for you?
I mean, we just went with a game plan of attack. They're aggressive hitters and just get a little bounce back from last week, and shows that baseball, good things can happen when you trust the process.
Do you like pitching in this sort of weather? It was hot and muggy. I know you're sort of from the part of the U.S. where it tends to be a little hot and muggy.
Yeah, I do enjoy the hot stuff. Body feels better. I mean, yeah, got to make sure you're hydrated, but it doesn't bother me at all. Honestly, it was nice having the hot weather today.
And then you found yourself in a couple of jams in the 3rd, 2nd, and 3rd, 1 out, ramped it up with a big strikeout in the 5th inning, the hit-and-run RBI single. But you were able to limit the damage and get out of those innings to provide length tonight. What was the big key for you in those spots?
Honestly, just honing in the adrenaline, honestly, because, you get a little mad there, but it's using it in a good way, and me and Mitchie got out of it there and didn't shake Mitch all night, so our game plan worked.
And you got some support from, I was looking at the score sheet, starting to name the guys that got hits and contributed. Pretty much everyone. Yeah. A lot of support from the offense.
Oh, yeah, everybody was on it. It was good to see 1 through 9 go out there. And we had good defense, too. I made some good plays. Daryl made some good plays for me, and Dale made some good plays, So it was good to have the defense behind me, and we wouldn't have got through that game without them.
Well, there's something about pitching here at this ballpark for you. Jonathan, thank you so much. Great stuff tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Once again, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts for Jonathan Tripp. In his last 2 home outings, he's combined for 12 innings, 16 strikeouts, while allowing just 1 run. He picks up his 3rd win of the season as well. He couldn't have written it any better. Well, look at this, some Aces TV history. We're going to get a second interview here tonight, and we're going to bring in Aaron Whitefield, who made some Aces history tonight. Aaron, you've made plenty of Aces history this year. You are now the Aces all-time stolen base leader, fittingly stealing 3rd base. How did that feel for you?
Oh, yeah, just trying to do my job, battling that knee here and there, and it felt good. So trying to get to 3rd so Robbie can drive me in, and just when it feels good, try and make the most of those stolen bases.
Yeah, and that play, our play of the game was your sort of steal of home, if you will, on that strikeout and throw to first, which was remarkable. Was that in your head, or was that a moment thing you're going to make that decision?
I always just look to see what the catcher does. He kind of turned his back on me, so once he turned his back and couldn't see me, I was already creeping down, so I thought I'd have a crack at the plate, and ended up working out well.
In the field, a couple nice plays tonight. Any differences playing left and center? What is there an adjustment there, or is it pretty comfortable going from center to left?
For me, I haven't really had a problem going. I did a lot in the minor leagues, and then when I was up with the Angels, I had to play. Obviously we got that guy, Mike Trout. We got that Mike Trout guy out there, so I had to learn to play left and right a little bit. So they had me do that in the minor leagues a bit. So for me, I enjoy left. It's kind of a break where let Berkey kind of learn to boss us around, but don't give him too much power.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's good. I enjoy, and just sometimes gets monotonous. There she is.
There you go.
You're playing center, so just spice up a little bit and just show you that I can play all 3 of them.
And then lastly, a backside homer to cap your day off as well. 3 more hits for you. I mean, how good is your timing right now?
I'm just trying to get the right pitch, and for some reason the pitchers keep giving it to me, so it makes it a lot easier. But trying to get it started at the top. I got Chubby who's raking behind me too, who makes it easier, and just get on for those. RG6 is starting to get going, Birdie as well. So I told Chubby probably a couple of weeks ago, like, hey, when the boys are cooling off, like we got to start going and getting on for him, and he's done a hell of a job. It's fun watching him play, and I'm just trying to get on and do what I told him to do.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Aaron. Now 3 stolen bases away from 100 in your ABL career. Knocking on the door, maybe this weekend.
Yeah, try to steal the base from, see if Wernie will let me take the base.
Hey, we'll see.
We've been lobbying for you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Aaron. Good stuff tonight.
Awesome. Cheers, guys.
Once again, Aaron Whitefield. We had 2 player of the games today. Aaron, such a pleasure to chat with, of course, every single night.
He's fantastic. He's just what this ABL baseball league is all about on and off the field.
Well, the Aces pick up a big win. Let's take a look at your game recap. How did we get to this 9-1 win? Well, Greg Bird got things started at the bottom of the first inning, seeing one deep and just lacing one inside the chalk. And Robbie Glendinning, well, he can run, scores all the way from first with 2 away. And the Aces would take a 1-0 lead right out of the gate. An RBI for Bird, his 23rd, second in the ABL in that category. The Aces would continue to add on. We head to the 2nd inning now and make that Chris Burke sending this soft liner up the middle, and Andy Atwood makes a sparkling diving play up the middle.
What a great play.
And then some aggressive base running. Getting into third right there was Brendan Ryan. That would set up a 2nd and 3rd spot. At the time, runners at the corners, but after a stolen base, 2nd and 3rd. And that brings up Corey Acton and then Andy Atwood. And it was Acton who struck out on a fastball upstairs. A big one for Tripp. He was just then an out away from getting out of the jam, and which he did. Here's that Aaron Whitefield play. Glendinning swings and misses for strike 3, draws the throw from Rios, and Whitefield comes racing home. Unbelievable stuff. That would double the lead to 2-0. And what was a pitcher's duel initially, Ed, that seemed like a very important run.
And just a smart play from a smart baseball player.
Logan Moore, he's got some experience. Sends one deep out to right center field to snap an 0 for 18 skid. His first homer as a member of the Melbourne Aces. This would push the lead to 3-0. It was the first run the Aces had scored that hadn't come with 2 outs in the inning, might we add.
That's a great swing, a great hit, big home run for the Aces and for Logan Moore.
And the Aces were not done yet. Behind Jonathan Tripp, who was really solid tonight en route to his 3rd win of the season, as you see Moore celebrating with the teammates. Big jump high five with Robbie Glendinning. Here's Jonathan Tripp looking to finish his night well. Instead, line drive out to right center field off the bat of Jake McKenzie on the hit and run. This would be the only run of the night for Sydney. It would bring around Brendan Ryan to score from first.
Hard to believe, isn't it? We thought, oh, there could be danger here, but Tripp was too good.
There's a strike 3 called for Tripp to end the inning. And then later in this ball game, Mitch Edwards sears one inside the line. Very similar to that Greg Bird RBI double. McCullough gets the stop sign here to set up 2nd and 3rd with 2 away for who other than Chris Burke, who's been in the middle of everything. You can see Mitch enjoying that 2-bagger.
I love that.
Chris Burke steps to the plate and just destroys a double into the alley in right center field. This would push the lead to 5-1. At this point, the Aces feeling mighty comfortable, but they were getting greedy. They wanted more.
Well, this is why I thought there might be a pitching change. I hate to harp on that, but
it just continued the inning. And you could see the starter tonight, and Barraza was doing quite well, but started to falter in that 7th. And then here's Aaron Whitefield, mentioned it, tried to get a good pitch to hit, a breaking ball over the heart of the plate, and he sends his 3rd homer of the season out to right field.
Yeah, you could just tell Barraza was tiring, and you've got the best hitter, or arguably the best hitter in the ABL up. 2nd best, I guess, to be, if you want to be accurate, Max.
There's the shot as well from Jared Belbin, wearing number 7 tonight, by the way. And then Daryl George sends a hard grounder up the middle into center for a base hit. That would bring around another run to score. Give George his 14th, make that 15th run batted into the year. That made it 8-1. And the Aces would tack on one more later in this game. That was with Robbie Glendinning at the plate. Before that, Jared Dale serves a soft looper into right field for a base hit. This would load the bases with 1 away in the 8th inning. And Glendinning, who entered this series 8 for 13 in Perth, picked up a couple hits tonight and then sends this soft roller to second that brings home Mitch Edwards from third to score, and the Aces would win 9-1. Final out here, a pop-up to second off the bat of Jalen Ray into the glove of Morgan McCullough to seal it for Melbourne. They move to 15-17 on the year with Perth's loss. They now move into fourth place for the final playoff spot in the ABL standings. Meanwhile, Sydney's magic number holds at 4, and they fall to 20-22.
Pretty much the perfect game for the Melbourne Aces. Pitching, hitting, base running, fielding, decision making. It could not have been any better. Great way to start what will be a very good 5-game series.
Absolutely. Once again, I'm Max Tanzer, joined alongside Ed White. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We'll be back on the airwaves tomorrow, 7 o'clock first pitch, 6:50 pregame show here on Aces TV on YouTube and Facebook Live. We got 4 more games in this series coming up. Fireworks tomorrow night. Make sure to get out to the ballpark if you can. The playoff race is only getting hotter. Aces move to 15-17, Sydney to 20-12. Melbourne with the win, 9-1. For our Sportscast Australia crew, I'm Max Tanzer with Ed White. We thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you tomorrow night.
This broadcast is powered by Sportscast Australia.